said you're scared? Are you scared of my love? Are you scared of our love? And I know you want me back, but do you know that all of
Hey, Yekcyr.
I know you want me back, and I know you want it back. Disappeared, and I know you noticed when you said you're scared. Are you scared of my love? Are you scared of our love? And I know you want me back, but do you know that all of the hurt from my past that will show? And I know you want me back, and I know you want it back. I thought I heard you, that you disappeared, and I know you noticed when you said you're scared. Are you scared of my love? Scared of our love, and I know you want me back, but do you know that all of the hurt from my past that will show? And I know you want me back, and I know you want it back.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Gonna make me do it. I'm ignoring all the signs. Don't make me do it. I'm ignoring all the signs. I see right through it. You're gonna make me do it. I'm ignoring all the signs.
Hey, Yekcyr.
See right through it. Don't make me do.
Hey, Yekcyr.
So many black lives scattered and then black lives matter. CERN summoning demons with that antimatter. They censoring the truth, all the lies that I shatter. And these labels getting paid when they sacrifice these rappers. Black lives scattered and then black lives matter. CERN summoning demons with that antimatter. They censoring the truth, all the lies that I shatter. And these labels getting paid when they sacrifice these rappers. Black lives scattered and then black lives matter. CERN summoning demons with that antimatter. They censoring the truth, all the lies that I shatter. And these labels getting paid when they sacrifice these rappers. Hey, they really hate the truth. We the people of the book. The evil will mislead you when this Hebrews got them shook. Who else do you know fits the prophecies of scripture? We are Yekcyr. Bible paints a clear picture. The lies don't hold truth and they fear make them quiver. They treat us so salty and their tears will taste bitter. The truth beat the brakes off these snakes when they sliver. Psalms 105:15 on whoever laid the finger. What's one way to kill us? Better ask Margaret Sanger. Injustice is a spark that will rouse up our anger. And when we speak so boldly, we can quiet all the chatter. Abortion kill our babies in the most violent manner. Yahuwah sing Yahusha cause he is the only answer. The Negro is a Hebrew and your hatred is the cancer. This song to my people scattered to the four corners. We fed up with these Khazars, feel like dogs being cornered. So many black lives scattered and then black lives matter. CERN summoning demons with that antimatter. They censoring the truth, all the lies that I shatter. And these labels getting paid when they sacrifice these rappers. Black lives scattered and then black lives matter. CERN summoning demons with that antimatter. They censoring the truth, all the lies that I shatter. And these labels getting paid when they sacrifice these rappers. Black lives scattered and then black lives matter. CERN summoning demons with that antimatter. They censoring the truth, all the lies that I shatter. And these labels getting paid when they sacrifice these rappers.
Hey, Yekcyr.
And Abraham answered his father and said to him, And how canst thou then serve these idols in whom there is no power to do anything? Can those idols in which thou trustest deliver thee? Can they hear thy prayers when thou callest upon them?
Hey, Yekcyr.
All praises to the Most High, ayy, ayy. These rappers' music so dry, ayy, ayy. Homos hate the Bible cause they're gay, gay. The Torah is forever, I obey, ayy. All praises to the Most High, ayy, ayy. Keep the Bible close by, ayy, ayy. Hebrew and you know why, ayy, ayy. All praises to the Most High, ayy. The road to redemption, it is only straight and narrow. Crystals for protection is sorcery like tarot. I know Yahuwah got me cause his eye is on the sparrow. To harden your heart to the truth like Pharaoh. Following the Torah is not religion, it's decision. Yahusha the Messiah never called his people Christians. School the Easter Bunny, Saint Nick and these traditions. Serving all these false gods like those damn Egyptians. Your heart is not repentant, then how can you be forgiven? Even until death I still hold my position. Trusting in Yahuwah, if I'm broke or I'm in prison. Endure to the end, I only go off what is written. Ay, all praises to the Most High. Ay, ay. These rappers' music so dry. Ay, ay. Homos hate the Bible cause they're gay, gay. The Torah is forever, I obey. Ay, all praises to the Most High. Ay, ay. Keep the Bible close by. Ay, ay. Hebrew and you know why. Ay, ay. All praises to the Most High. Ay, ay.
Here.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Our counterintelligence program must prevent the rise of a black messiah.
Look, we went from Hebrew to a Negro to a runaway slave. Came up off that plantation, broke our shackles and chains. And it's no more cotton picking, no tobacco, no cane. This a whole new plateau where Yekcyr will remain. We went from Hebrew to a Negro to a runaway slave. Came up off that plantation, broke our shackles and chains. And it's no more cotton picking, no tobacco, no cane. This a whole new plateau where Yekcyr will remain. Only one nation of people had their heritage hidden. In the scriptures it's been written, I'm no longer a Christian. Went from Negro to a black or a colored. By the blood of Yahusha we redeemed and recovered. And Yahuwah gave instruction, now the truth is uncovered. Recompense for how our people and our youth have just suffered. And the lies that they told us now ruptured and punctured. And we fell from his grace but now restored and recovered. Yeah, they beat us and deceived us and their deeds were egregious. Had us bowing to the cross and controlled us with Jesus. And they did it so seamless and it made us obsequious. And Yahuwah loved his people, he restored us with meekness. It is he that woke us up to our Hebrew uniqueness. Yekcyr and Yahusha, not a greater allegiance. Wipe the tears from my eyes cause he knows of our grievance. Through the blood of Yahusha, no more tormented demons. We went from Hebrew to a Negro to a runaway slave. Came up off that plantation, broke our shackles and chains. And it's no more cotton picking, no tobacco, no cane. This a whole new plateau where Yekcyr will remain. We went from Hebrew to a Negro to a runaway slave. Came up off that plantation, broke our shackles and chains. And it's no more cotton picking, no tobacco, no cane. This a whole new plateau where Yekcyr will remain. Yahuwah set us free, we not hanging from trees. If we say we set apart, then why we slanging the streets? And we kill our own brother off of so-called beef. Mainstream music is destructive and we can't find no peace. And I'm a child of the king, we were more than a slave. His name is a strong tower, in Yahuwah we safe. Manufactured us a culture that's immoral, depraved. His name written on our foreheads, forever engraved. And there is no word spoken that can measure our pain. Through all the terror and the pressure, we still call on his name. For centuries, Yekcyr, we've been all led astray. Transgressions of our sins, yeah, led us away. And our people stiff-necked and they all disobey. But by Yahuwah and Yahusha, we not walking in faith. One people, one nation, yeah, run through our veins. Because Yahusha fled those curses, I'm a runaway slave. We went from Hebrew to a Negro to a runaway slave. Came up off that plantation, broke our shackles and chains. And it's no more cotton picking, no tobacco, no cane. This a whole new plateau where Yekcyr will remain. We went from Hebrew to a Negro to a runaway slave. Came up off that plantation, broke our shackles and chains. And it's no more cotton picking, no tobacco, no cane. This a whole new plateau where Yekcyr will remain. Yeah.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Hey, yo, I rest on the 7th day, it surely isn't Sunday. One path to Yahuwah and Yahusha is the one way. Narrow path, step and stay on track like a subway. Yahusha crack the sky with the Malakim someday. Dietary laws, ain't no eating swine flesh. Yahusha garment staining blood like the wine press. The heathens crying out, strong delusion, they the blindest. These heathens can't keep Jesus, not appease in the slightest. Feast days, moral laws, keeping the Shabbats. Don't follow the ways to eat them, by Yahusha's blood I'm bought. Jesus is a big Virgin Mary, don't need her. Yekcyr spin the block on the devil with the heater. Covenant keeper, the Ruach is my teacher. Yahuwah the creator, worship him and not the creature. Christianity can't be any same old difference. You call on pagan names and you call yourself bishops. Heathens in these camps, Jacob giving up his birthright. Held up with these nations, white body like a termite. Reject the Messiah, yeah, your doctrine is Jewish. Scum of the earth, cause that doctrine is sewage. Yahusha in the Torah, you can't see it, you foolish. Committed to Yahuwah, it's a fact that I do this. You are my enemy if you an enemy of Torah. Destruction for the wicked, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah, ain't no new age doctrine, no chakras, no auras. The Apocrypha, I read it, I explore it like Dora. I'm a strong black man with biblical values. Fulfill doesn't mean abolish, yeah, I'm quoting out Matthew. I'm not a patriot, I am fearing the lure. 24 and forever, my king is Yahusha. I don't care about America, she surely gon' fall. And the ops gon' hate you when the Kadashi you called. Yahusha 24, always and forever. To Yahuwah I surrender, my life has been better. Put no trust in no man, nor you are a curse. All esteem to Yahuwah, ayy, I put him first. Yeah, whoa, ayy. Yahusha 24, ayy, it's Yahusha 24, ayy. Yahusha 24, Yahusha 24, Yahusha 24. All esteem to Yahuwah in the highest. Baruch haba Basham Yahuwah. Baruch atah King Yahusha.
Hey, Yekcyr.
Shabbat shalom, family. Can I get a mic check? 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yeah. Mic check 1 2 1 2. How I'm sounding? Mic check. I messed up. Am I good though? I tried to throw in that extra line. I was like, nah, that ain't gonna fit. Too many syllables. Too many syllables for the beat. Too many syllables for the beat. It's just got to be like mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Done. Okay, ones. Okay, I'm good. Okay, all phrases. Okay. How y'all doing, man? Shabbat shalom to the family, man. Good to see y'all. All praises. Justin Zadok Yahoo is here. Let's go ahead. Let's get these shout outs done. Okay, so Bianca Yanka is in the building. Shabbat shalom, sister. Welcome back. Good to see you as always. May the Most High shine his beautiful face upon you and your household. Bahasham Yahusha. Love you, sis. Welcome. Let's see. Adara is here. Hey, what's up, sis? Shabbat shalom. I hope you've had a good week. I hope that the Most High is showing all his esteem upon you in this moment right here as we are gathered. Shabbat shalom to you, sis. Yummy is in the building. What's up, sis? All praises to the Most High. Shabbat shalom. Good to see you. Yada Yahuwah. All praises to the highest. Welcome back. Queen Raya Yasharal. What's up, sis? Good to see you. Shabbat shalom. Sweetness. All praises to the Most High. Welcome back. We are here. We are together. The family is gathered. All praises to Yahuwah. And by the way, to everybody that did the Sakuth, you know what I'm saying? I hope you had a good Sakuth. Those of y'all, I know, when it comes to Sakuth, sometimes it can be kind of, Feast of Tabernacles. I know sometimes it could be a little bit difficult because, some of us try to do the best that we can when it comes to doing these feast days that require things like temples and, being in Jerusalem and all of that. But to those of us who make an effort to still try to keep these feast days as best as we can, and just, the training of Torah, the training in the ways of Yahuwah, every effort that you make to live for Yahuwah, you know what I'm saying? If you put your heart and soul into it, you know what I'm saying? He sees that. So don't let people discourage you and make you feel bad because we're not in Jerusalem right now. I'd rather do something than do nothing at all. All right? Because I want to show Yahuwah that this awakening has led me back to him. It has led me back to the ancient path. And that's the most important thing that we can understand. You feel me? So all praises. All right. So Dark Kid is here. Shabbat shalom. Let's see. Hezekiah, what's up? Young Yahudi. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Welcome back. Welcome back, young one. Let's see. I think I got all the mods. I saw Dennis in here. Where he at? Where Big Ock at? I'm looking for the Big Ock. Dang, where you at, gang? You must be leaving the plantation. Zakar Yahoo, what's up, Ock? All praises to the Most High. Shabbat shalom. All esteem to the highest. Shalom alikam. Peace be unto you, Aki. Let's see. All right, I think I saw you in here, Aki. You know what I'm saying? I may not be able to find your name, but I seen you in here, Ak. I just wanted to, you know what I'm saying, show some love. All right. All praises. Okay, well, we gonna go ahead. If I see your name again as you comment, I'll shout you out, Ak. Okay, let's jump into the chat real quick. Everybody that's here that is not a mod. There you are. What's up, Aki? All praises. All praises. I had to look for my big Ak, bro. This is like my big brother right here. All praises to the Most High, Yahuwah. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the big Ak, Dennis. All praises to the Most High. All right, so let's see. All right, let's give a shout out to everybody else. All right, Chris Warren, all praises to the highest. Yahuwah, Shabbat Shalom, Ak. Sam is here. Shabbat Shalom, all praises to the Most High. Shout out to Justin Zadok Yahu, Shabbat Shalom. I choose Yahuwah. Renee Yahu is in the building. Shabbat Shalom, sister. Abigail's here. Shabbat Shalom. Sunshine Vibes. Hey, sis. Yo, I got to give you so much love. You've been showing so much support to what I've been doing and sharing my videos. So, shout out to you, sis. All praises to the highest Yahuwah. Shabbat Shalom to you. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yahudi Blue, there she is. What's up, Queen? Shabbat Shalom. I didn't see you. I was looking for you. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, there she go. All praises. Shabbat Shalom, sis. All things truth and holiness. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom to you. Let's see. Shauna Shelby is here. Shabbat Shalom. Kaya is here. Shabbat Shalom. Actual Israel. Shabbat Shalom to you. Abiyahu. Shabbat Shalom, sis. All praises. Madi Yahu. Yasharal is here. Shabbat Shalom. Kiki in peace is here. Shabbat Shalom to you, sis. Let's see. Marquita is here. Shabbat Shalom. Shaul is here. Shabbat Shalom. Tanjia, what's up, sis? Black to my roots. I love that name so much. All praises to the Most High. Yada Yahuwah. Shabbat Shalom to you. Okay. I saw one of our ox from Facebook on the live because we doing a simultaneous stream. I saw him in here somewhere. Where is he at? I'm looking for, bro. There's so many comments. Okay, all right. I was looking for you, Ak. I saw you watching on Facebook. Ak, Bati Abaya Sharas here. Shabbat Shalom to you, sister. I can't find him, bro. I saw you in here, bro, but shout out to you. Nyoka Clark is here. Shabbat Shalom, sis. All praises. All right. Okay, fam. That's everybody. All right. Shout out to the early birds. Shouts out to the regulars. let's get into this, man. So, one sec, y'all. Okay. All right. Y'all know I got my drink on the standby. You feel me? So please hit the like button as we jump into this. I think I have a jam-packed session tonight. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this, fam. All right. So Melanin and Transhumanism, episode 7, the quest to become like God, who the heathens call God, the children of Lucifer call God, not the true Alua of all creation, Yahuwah, the Alua of Yahshua. No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about their fake God. Okay? That's not Yahuwah, which is Lucifer. All right? Because Lucifer goes by many names. Our Father goes by one name. Okay? One. All right? Akkad. Akkad Sham, one name, Akkad Sham. Can y'all type that in the chat here? I'm gonna put it in the bari for you. Okay, Akkad Sham, Akkad Sham. I need y'all to remember that. All right, one of the greatest lies of Lucifer is that the Most High has many names. No. Akkad Sham, family, Akkad Sham. All right, that's what you have to remember about the highest. Akkad Sham. Let me put that in here. The only thing I hate is like when I put stuff in a bari and I show it on the screen, like y'all can see it right now, but like when people watch the replay, it does not show up. All right, Akkad Sham. And that's going to be a section I'm doing in the Yahuwah documentary because I'm still writing out the documentary. I'm trying to have it done before the end of this pagan year. Akkad Sham, family, one name. Yes, hallelujah, Yahuwah. Okay, so Aleph, Kat, Daleth. All right, Akkad, that means one. All right, and then Shin Mam. All right, Sham, which means name. Akkad Sham. Yahuwah Akkad Sham. The Most High has one name, family. One name. All right. And I think that's so important to understand, which is why I distinguish between Yahuwah, the Alua, and God, which is every other nation that does not know him. You feel me? All right. I just have to preface that. Okay. Let's get going. Now, if you have not seen the previous episodes, as you can see here, I've been building out quite a series here with this show. And if you have not seen the other episodes, I highly implore you to check out the description box. They should be pinned there. And if you are watching the replay, it should be in the pinned comment as soon as I'm done with the replay, because we're live right now. As soon as the live is done streaming, I will pin it in the comments so you can check out all these other episodes. All right. But yeah, we've been putting that work in every week, but we do this every Friday. All right. 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to join us live, sometimes we do polls and stuff like that. Sometimes we do a Q&A at the end of the show. You know what I'm saying? Be sure to join us every Friday, all right? And of course, to my beloved mods, please be sure to remind our listeners to write their questions down and hold them until the end of the presentation. Now, in our last few episodes, we went deep into understanding the truth about the so-called black goo. And in our last episode, we talked about melanoma and how the children of Lucifer are deathly afraid of the increase in heat around the world and the power of the sun. I put 2 W's right there. Salaki for that, y'all. I caught that error. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me full screen this. Okay, there we go. All praises. Let's keep going. Now, the great luminary of Yahuwah, known as the sun, Hashemash, is not going anywhere anytime soon. But there is a people that I have been saying that he did not create that are experiencing judgment due to the UV rays of the sun. Now, the reason why we have to discuss this when we're talking about transhumanism, family, is for one reason and one reason only. It's the only way they will survive. Okay? It's the only way. I'm talking about, we'll get to all of that, but I just need you to understand transhumanism and these end times is based upon going back to their feeling of insecurity. All right? That's what this is all about, believe it or not. Which is why I tell you, stop letting these children of Lucifer tell you we're all the same. No, we're not. The Adamic race is not like the people who are not created by Yahuwah. All right. And you're going to understand as we continue to build this out. All right. So that's just that is the key factor in understanding this truth. All right. Now, you see, the children of Lucifer are a cursed people, though in their minds, they think that they are a blessed people, but they're not. That's the great lie. That is the great delusion. Okay? Y'all follow me so far? Let's keep going. Now, I have explained in previous episodes that whites fear two things. One, genetic annihilation, and two, divine retribution. Now, I have a question for you all. The culmination of these things will lead to one thing. Family, with the shot in the dark, with the culmination of genetic annihilation, and divine retribution, what is that one inevitable thing that these two things combined lead to? That's the question. Drop it in the chat. Let me know. What does that lead to? Those two things combined. It's only one thing. One answer. Let me know in the chat. DW Page, Shabbat Shalom, Aki. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah. Okay, I see some people that got it. Some people that got it in the chat. Okay, wonderful. Yes, exactly. Death, non-existence, extinction. Consequences is a good way to say it if you want to be honest with yourself. But I think that a more direct way to refer to it would be extinction. And that is the correct answer. It leads to one thing, their extinction. As I have discussed in previous episodes, this is the reason for the lie of sour cream supremacy. This is the reason why they are building this new world order. This is the reason for the anti-immigration rhetoric. This is the reason why they start breaking down and crying when you talk about their low birth rates. This whole system, family, listen to me dearly, please. This whole system was built upon giving a people that Yahuwah has not chosen for salvation to live out their dream of becoming like God. Why? Because man was made for immortality. Let me say that again. I'm going to get deep for a minute. Can I get deep? Give me a one. Darn it, give me a one, family. Come on, let me get deep with you real quick. Let me get extremely deep and scripturally. Not just deep, but like scripturally deep. Can I just get scripturally deep, family? Okay, 11111s. Okay. So I read this in the Chachma Shaluma, the Wisdom of Solomon. The Wisdom of Solomon. Let me see if I can pull up that graphic. Whenever I'm going through the scriptures and I find something that just that's like that's soul food to me, I always make a graphic for it every single time. So I just been building out this folder that has a ton of these different little graphics, and I post them on social media. Let's see if I can find it here. Hold on a second. Man was made for immortality, family. That was Yahuwah's original intention before the fall of man. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find it. I know I have it here. I have to show you the graphic because the graphic is just the one. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me pull it up. I got it here on Facebook. It's Wisdom of Solomon, and it talks about that Yahuwah made man for immortality. Immortality. I think that's 15. Yup. Yeah. Okay, let's go to that. Wisdom of Solomon 15. Let me share my screen real quick. I got to show y'all this, man. This one is just, it just hits, man. You know, when you're going through the scriptures with that Hebraic mindset and you really look at it in the lens that it should be. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at this. So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15. But you, Aralua, are kind and true and patient. You rule the universe with mercy. Even if we say, hold on, do they got the Brenton? You know what I'm saying? I don't like using these other versions, bro. I really don't. They got the Brenton. They don't have the Brenton. Darn it. Okay. The Brenton just hits different to me. Anywho, even if we sin, we know your power and are still yours, but because we know that we belong to you, we will not sin. Knowing you is a perfect righteousness. I love that. Knowing Yahuwah is a perfect righteousness. Ooh, hallelujah. Yahuwah. Praise the Most High. Knowing him is a perfect righteousness, right? Okay, let's keep going. Knowing you is a perfect righteousness, recognizing your power is where immortality begins. We have not been misled by any evil product of human skill, by any useless object. Salaki, where was I? I'm sorry, I just lost my place. Okay. Or any useless object by some artist or by any idol smeared with different colors. The sight of such things arouses the passions of foolish people and makes them a desire, dead, lifeless image. Any who makes such a thing or desires to worship it is in love with something evil and gets what he deserves when he places his hopes in it. Oh, they white Jesus family. They white Jesus. They putting all their hope in a white Jesus. They over here talking about we need to bring prayer back into school. Listen, I do not want to pray to your white Jesus. I am not interested in praying to your white Jesus. You're not going to force your Christian nationalism, sour cream supremacy, white mayo. You know what I'm saying? Powdered donut. You know what I'm saying? Triple K Christianity on me. I'm good. Okay? I do not like powdered donuts. I like chocolate donuts because powdered donuts make a mess. Try to eat some dang powdered donuts, bro, and it's just like it make a mess just white everywhere. Just, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, you feel me? I had one homeboy, man. He, you know what I'm saying? He was hooked on that. You know, back in the day when I was running with the wrong people, you know what I'm saying? There was always a saying, don't get high off your own supply. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He had a thing for that white girl. And when I say white girl, I'm not talking about a white girl. Y'all from the hood, the Yahudim, y'all know what I'm talking about. He had a thing for that white girl. He was slanging that white girl. And I remember one time, bro, this dude was so zeked out, bro. It was literally like hanging out of his nose. You know what I'm saying? He was bleeding. His nose was bleeding. I'm like, bro, why do you do this to yourself? You know what I'm saying? He was just messed up off that stuff. If you ever seen The Wolf of Wall Street, you know what I'm talking about. That's what them white people be doing. See, you know, I always talk about, you know, crack cocaine in the 80s and stuff like that, because obviously I was a victim of it. My dad was on the stuff. But I remember like how, you know, they targeted black men because black men had the free base version of the rocks and they were slinging them because the feds in the Ronald Reagan era had you know, shoveled all these crack rocks into the hood, and Negroes started smoking it, and then they started selling it, right? But then you have these white people, like those individuals on Wall Street, those blue collar individuals, those Jewish people and those casting directors and stuff like that, all day long, bro. They sit in their office and they freaking snort lines. That's all they do, bro. That's all they do. And they're not going to the suburbs because that's where you find the most purest form of it, which is the one that you snort. You feel what I'm saying? The stuff that you smoke is the stuff that, you know what I'm saying, black people would like, you know, if we mixed it with. Anyway, y'all know, bro, I don't like talking about that too much because I don't like glorifying what I know and what I was around. But you know what I'm saying? That's just the life of a Yahudi who grew up in the hood in this country that pushed this culture up on me. I mean, I'm from Cali, so this was the culture. This was that gangster rap. This was what I grew up in. You know what I'm saying? And I still see the damage. I still see the damage that is done to black people. You feel me? And that's why I'm trying to help our people wake up and let y'all know, man, I was around it. I seen it. It's a dirty game out there. You feel me? The damage. Born in the 80s. Facts. Facts. All right, y'all. So with that being said, let's get back to this. All right. So they fear extinction. All right. Man was made for immortality. I have to find that scripture, man. Hold on, fam. I have to find it. Yes, yes, yes. Found it. Yes, yes, yes. Found it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I found it. Yeah, yeah. Hey, oh, yeah. I found it. I found it. I found it. Yeah. Hey, I found it. I found it. I found it. Yeah. Okay. All right. Y'all love me though. All right. So Wisdom of Solomon 2. Here we go. All right. Yada Yahuwah. So listen to this. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, 23 for 24. But actually, let's start off at 17 to get the whole context. All right. So it says, let me zoom in. Start off at 17 for the context. Okay. Let us see whether what he says is true, and let us test what will happen at his departure. For if the upright man is a son of all, he will help him and save him from the hands of his adversaries. Hallelujah. Okay. So this is talking about somebody who is a son of Elua. A son of Elua would be obviously, of course, the righteous Israelite, of course, is chosen. So whenever I talk about the Adamic race, you got to understand that the chosen, there's a chosen of the Adamic race. Okay. And that is the Israelites. All right. So the son of Elua is a righteous Israelite, but that would also be anybody who's a descendant of Adam. Okay, so upright Gentiles, upright Adamic people who may not necessarily be Israelites, but they still serve the Most High. They believe in the Most High. They follow his commandments. They believe in Yahusha. All right. Let's keep going. As the son of Elul, he will help him and save him from the hands of his adversaries. Okay, the enemy. Verse 19, let us test him with insults and torture so that we may learn his patience and prove his forbearance. Let us condemn him to a shameful death. Okay, look at that. Okay, do you see how the heathen tries us? Let us condemn him to a shameful death, for he will be watched over from what he says. So they reasoned, but they went astray, for their wickedness blinded them, and they did not know Elua's secrets. Ooh, I love it when we get to the mystery of Elua. I love those scriptures that talk about the mystery of the highest. You feel me? I love that. Okay, so it says, they know not, the heathens, they know not the secrets of Elua or hope for the reward of Kadash, being Kadash, holiness, or recognize the prize of blameless souls. Listen to this. Listen, here we go. For Elua created man. Who is man? Descendants of Adam, because Adam refers to man. All right. So listen. For Elua created man for immortality and made him the image of his own eternity. Listen to this. For Elua created man for immortality and made him the image of his own eternity. Hallelujah. Praise the Most High. But through the devil's envy, listen to me, through the devil's envy, death came into the world, and those who belong to his party experience it. Boy, this right here is food. This right here is food, family. And I have the graphic. I have to look for it. I've got so many of them. But when we do the next episode, I promise I'll have it ready for y'all. You feel me? But this one, man. Whew. Okay. So, man, yeah. Well, like some people say human. I say human because we are the man with the hue in our skin. But you have man, and then you have mankind. So man are the original descendants of Adam. And then there's mankind, which is a different kind of man. All right. That would be the fallen seed. Okay. But Yahuwah created man, the descendants of Adam, to be immortal. And this is why through Yahusha, we gain that back. Let me say it again. That is why through, hold on, wait. I need a visual for this. Okay, I need a visual. Man, I just need a visual for this. Hold on. Let me make it plain. Can I make it plain? Can Yekcyr make it plain? Because it's just like if I don't make it plain, then it may not stick. You feel me? All right. So let me make it plain. All right. So that is why through Yahusha, the liberator, hallelujah, Yahusha, the liberator, we gain back that immortality when we become renewed through the regathering of the sheep of Yasharal. Hallelujah, at that marriage feast. Hallelujah, when Yahusha comes back for his bride. When Hamashiach comes back for his bride, he said, I will change. You will instantly be changed in the blink of an eye, in the twinkling of an eye. That's not even a full blink. A twinkle is not even a full blink. He said, behold, my reward is with me, and we shall be changed. Hallelujah, we shall be changed. Come on, say it with me, family. Hallelujah, praise the Most High. We shall be changed. All these children of Lucifer have done. They've mixed their seed. They've colonized us. They've hurt our women. They've violated our women. They've destroyed people. They've wiped people out. They've created these hybrids. But hallelujah, we will be changed. Oh, praise the Most High, Yahuwah. Oh, praise the Most High. No more fallen states. No more fallen states. Oh, I get so excited, y'all. Hallelujah, Yahuwah. I get so excited. People do not understand the zeal that I have for the highest. You know what I'm saying? So you hear a black man, it's like you never been on my stream before. You hear me speak like that. You're like, what is wrong with this bad homie? I'm on fire for the highest. If you an Israelite, you know our zeal for our Lua. You ain't been to these streams, but just saying, the zeal is there. All praises. Can't fake it. Can't fake it. Can't fake it. Can't fake it. All praises. We shall be changed. We shall be changed. Hallelujah. We need to change our mind spiritually, right? The renewing of the mind, right? So let me give you a precept for that. Yahushua says we're changed by the renewing of our mind. We're changed by the renewing of our minds, yes, to prepare us for the renewing of our bodies. Hallelujah. And the immersion in the water. The immersion of waters is symbolic of that. The waters of immersion are symbolic of that rebirth and that renewing of the mind. We renew our minds so he can renew our bodies at his coming. Hallelujah. Praise the Most High. You can't just renew the mind. You got to renew the body as well, family. Praise the Most High. Okay, cool. So let's keep going. All right, fam. So continuing on, we shall be changed through Yahusha the liberator, which is why he said, behold, my reward is with me. Hallelujah. All right, let's keep going, fam, okay? Sometimes I just get caught up in the rapture of the moment. So the whites fear their extinction. And this is exactly why they are on the route to trying to attain immortality. All right. Man was made to be immortal. So if they truly believe that they are Adamic, then you have to explain why are they using transhumanism to obtain immortality? It's because immortality is not promised to them by means of Yahuwah. And this is exactly why, as I said, if you look at, actually, let's get to that. So the proof of this is the fertility rates. The good news, however, is the judgment is already happening in a myriad of ways. One way, of course, is the fertility problems, as we have discussed throughout this series. And as you can see here, this is why they need transhumanism. This is why they need to try to become like Alua and become like the children of Alua by means of their own ingenuity and technological means. AI, communicating with fallen angels, communicating with the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim from which they obtained this knowledge. Because Yahuwah is not going to save them, and they are not his creation, and their only outcome is destruction, they have to, if they, like I want you to seriously think about this, family. Think about this for a second. All right. I want you to use your brain. Okay. Do not don't think about what I'm talking about. I'm just going to present this to you in a way that I want you to really, really consider when you're trying to understand this transhumanist agenda. All right. These white people have all this money and all this power. If they really are going to make it to the kingdom and they are really going to be redeemed by Yahuwah, why under the dome do they need transhumanism? Why do we need AI? Why do we need, wearable technology and, bioconvergence and integration into, AI interfaces? Why do we need Web 3.0 and all this other stuff? Why do we need technological integration? If immortality comes through Yahusha, it's because they're not going to attain it. That's the whole thing you need to understand. There are people who are not going to be saved. And this is what people are scared to talk about, bro. Which is why I'm just like, why are you even teaching? Why are you even in a position of teaching if you're scared to tell the truth? What are you so afraid of? It's the truth. The Ruach should strengthen you and embolden you and lead you in truth. This is the book of Revelations that you have not ever been taught in Christianity. No, it's not about color. It's not. But the truth of the matter is, it is for them. Now, I had to go to the highest to get this understanding. This will not come by any regular scholar, so-called Bible scholar, so-called biblical teacher. This only comes by looking at the Bible from a Hebrew Israelite perspective, knowing we are the people, and understanding who our enemies actually are. Now, let me be clear. There are other melanated nations who are also our enemies. Don't get it twisted. There are. In the book of Ezekiel, the war of Gog and Magog, there are Cushitic nations that join with Gog and Magog against us. So don't get it twisted. All right. What's his name? Homeboy from the Fresh and Fit podcast, Myron Gaines. He's a Somalian. All he does is bash black people. He act like he not black. And Somalians, ooh, they hate us. They hate us. Some of these people in North Africa, they cannot stand the Bantus. They can't stand Negroes. Matter of fact, Tunisia and North Africa, they're still enslaving other Africans. Like I said, some of them are descendants of Ishmael. Some of them are descendants like um uh of Put. Some of them are descendants of Canaan, and they do enslave other Africans. Yes. Matter of fact, if to any of our people that ever decide to go to the continent, stay the heck out of North Africa. All right. They literally work with those pale Berbers to kidnap and enslave people and sell them to the Arabs. Stay out of North Africa. Stay out of there. If you want to go to the continent, avoid that place. Africans will tell you that. They will tell you stay out of there. All right? This is real talk. But yes, we do have melanated enemies too that will, for their best interest, just like you see some of these African leaders, they've sold out their own people. Look at the war that's going on in Congo. Look at the genocide. Go look it up. It's brutal. It is brutal. Like some of these leaders of these African countries have sold out. All right. These house Negroes have sold out. So yes, other melanated people are your enemies too, especially if they're still in Christianity. Look at these pastors still talking about this damn rapture, still pushing this rapture doctrine, still lying to our people, man. Still lying to our people, keeping our people still locked into white supremacy, still locked into worshiping white Jesus and triple K Christianity. So I don't want you to think because people are our people that, there's not people who look like us who are working against us every day. I mean, shoot, there's all these agents and Black Boule and Prince Halls, all of them. They all some sellouts. So just keep that in mind, family, all right? I just have to make that clear because people think I'm just like, oh, the white man, he's the devil. Yeah, he is. But there's Black people who look like us that are working for the white man. Always remember that, all right? Let's keep going. I just see how quickly Negroes change their tune. They was saying something pro-Trump stuff, and now all of a sudden they done changed their tune. Now they over here talking about Trump is discriminating against our people. Shut up. Y'all Negroes was high-tailing it talking about Trump 2024. Y'all was cooning for Trump all day, and now y'all want to sit here and talk about, man, he targeting our people. Man, shut up. So fertility is one way that they are being judged. Another way, of course, is the simple mass unaliving of each other due to failure, frustration, and the fact white men are highly undesired, even by their own women. Now, let me just preface this. I do not support mixing with other nations. All right? Let me say it again. Yekcyr, Malkaya, me, I do not support Israelites marrying anybody else but Israelites. That is law. That is Torah. That is what the Most High said. And the reason why he told you not to is because of these fallen Nephilim bloodlines. All right. And I'm going to be doing a show very, very soon. Shout out to Gates of Hoda. I watched her video the other day and she was talking about the Hittites. All right. The Hittites were a form of Canaanites. And in my film, The Curse of Canaan, I pointed to the fact that some of these like Raphaim and these really, really tall people that were in the land of Canaan, they were white. All right. And I'm able to connect it to the giants that were in North Africa at one point. That's connected to these Berbers. And some of those Berbers, they are connected to those fallen Hittite, Jebusites, all of these nations that the Most High told us to show no mercy to. A lot of these Indo-European tribes are connected to those tribes that the Most High said show no mercy to and don't marry. All right. So they are essentially, yes, they are Canaanites, and they also intermix with these black, dark-skinned, Hamitic, Canaanite tribes. All right, which is why you have some mixed people in Africa. All right, it's because it goes back to that. And I'm doing a video. I'm working on a video on that. I'm going a little bit more deeper into it. But yes, I'm going to be doing a video on that very, very soon. So, keep that in mind. But yeah, all praises to the Most High. I've been able to connect some more dots. You feel me? So we got all those ites, you know what I'm saying? All them nations, y'all, who have said destroy, including Amalek. There's a reason why, family. And that has a lot to do with what we're dealing with today with them. Our ancestors failed. He said, wipe them out. And we didn't. So, I mean, we kind of suffering because that was another mistake that we did not adhere to. All right? You feel me? So again, destruction is for them folk. All right? Now let's keep going. All right. So let's look at a few examples of these things now. Like I said, I do not support marrying these other nations, but I just want you to see how these people freak out when they see our people with their nasty, you know what I'm saying, females. All right. So, as I've explained in previous episodes, when they call somebody a mud shark, when a white man calls a white woman a mud shark, it's because they are angry that she's chosen a black man. Okay. So you can see here on the right, a black man, a Yahudi with a white woman. And then this person wrote nasty mud shark. And of course, they never show their faces. And then here on the left, this woman on Twitter, Giggly, says, fantasizing about people of color hurting a white woman who isn't a white supremacist is their favorite hobby because they are deeply deranged and pathetic individuals. Wow. I mean, their own people are roasting them. That's what's so hilarious about this. And this is what I mean when I talk about this is the reason for transhumanism. This is the reason for them wanting to accelerate birth rates and all that. They're desperate because their own women don't want them. They'd rather go sleep with a dog. Bro, they're so insignificant. That's what I'm saying. Bring it up. Next time they say something racist, say your own women don't want you. They'd rather go violate a dog than lay with your hairy, musty, pink self. Just remind them that their women don't even want them. They'd rather have a nasty animal. And then this person said, the savages you opine for will have a field day with you when the white man decides to stop protecting you. And that's the first thing they do. They insult their women and they say things like, oh, well, you're going to end up as a single mother with a black eye, right? That's their cope. You feel me? Now, understanding the motivation of transhumanism, as I said, of the children of Lucifer, is almost entirely based upon insecurity. And let's look at a few more examples of that. All right. Here is another one. Let's look at the one on the far left. So this is a black man with a white woman. All right. And this person said, Richard D says, your grandparents hate you. Your bloodline is over. You ruined hundreds of years of your family. F you. Okay. So you can see why these white men are so desperate where they're going to force white women to have their babies. That's why they're doing artificial wombs. That's why that is a thing now. Do y'all see the fall of the fallen seed? This is like the second fall. All right. This is Shani Nafa. This is the second fall, bro. This is the second fall. And this is why they're so mad, but they're not going to tell you this. All right. But in certain circles, they tell this to each other, and I see it, and I screenshot it. Stop snitching on yourself. White people, stop snitching on yourself. Because all you're doing is helping me prove everything I've been saying about you. Stop snitching on yourself. Let me say that one more time. Stop snitching on yourself. Then this person in the middle says, I've been saying it for a while. The way forward. Now listen how mad they get and how wicked the seed of the devil starts to spark up because they hate us so much. Listen to this. I've been saying it for a while, and the way forward is removing women's choice of partner. Now the children of Cain, the children of the devil, now that violent, evil rage comes out where they want to kill their own people because they're angry that their people don't want them. Wow. Let's keep reading. They need to be arranged with someone bought or forced. They are terrible at picking partners. Family, do you see the children of Lucifer? Do you see the children of Lucifer? This is really their nature. They are the children of the devil. I keep telling you this. Like, when I see a black woman with a white man, I feel bad for her, but I'm not going to be dogging her out and begging her to go marry a black man and be with me. That's goofy. That's beta male behavior. That's dudes that ain't even used to being around women. That's incel behavior. That's dorky dude in the corner that girls ain't paying attention to. That's dudes that ain't used to being in a woman's company, don't know how to talk to a woman, don't know how to deal with a woman. See, what happens is a lot of these white men, bro, they get old, okay? They get old and dirty and crusty, and these women don't want them. So what they do is they sit online all day and they post these, racist memes and these false, pseudoscience bullcrap, blaming black people for everything because of your failure. You blaming black people because of your failure. What that got to do with me, bro? I'm living my life. What do I got to do with your downfall? What do I got to do that you're inept in every way? And I'm not just talking about like skill wise. I'm talking about genetically and everything. I mean, what that got to do with me? You feel me? I'm just, it's like they blame us for everything, but it's like in real, like the reality of it is that this is all things that you've brought on yourself because of your evil. But see, Yahuwah knew your nature, and there would come a time where the chickens would come home to roost. So your women choosing to go sleep with a dog and not have children with you is not my fault.
Shit to do with me, hey, that ain't got shit to do with me. That ain't got shit to do with me, hey, that ain't got shit to do with me.
Okay, I you know what I'm saying? It's the end. It is the end, and that's the best the Caucasian can do is just understand that. That is the best thing you can do. Somehow come to terms with it, find some comfort in it. You know what I'm saying? But that's what it is. All right? And you're only lying to yourself if you're denying this. You're only lying to yourself. I see it, you see it, your women see it, your children see it. It's over. It's a wrap. You feel me? So this person is talking about forcing a woman to marry him. And then you have this white woman with this black man. And then this person says another single mom in the making. Yeah. We will explore the insecurities of the children of Lucifer and the motivations to become like Alua as I continue to build out this series. And of course, leaving off from our last episode, another reason why whites are dying out is due to melanoma, aka skin cancer. In this particular episode, we will look deeper into this condition and how the children of Lucifer have another thing to fear. Yes, indeed. We're going to analyze a few videos and look deeper because everything, as we have been exploring about melanin, has everything to do with what they are planning. Now, first off, you need to understand about sunscreen. Sunscreens are highly toxic, family, and extremely damaging to melanated skin. All right? If your parents never told you black people don't need sunscreen, they did you a disservice because you don't need to put that stuff on your skin, okay? You have built-in sunscreen. That's the benefit of melanin, okay? All praises to the Most High, all right? But it is filled with toxic chemicals and is extremely damaging to melanated skin. And it can cause damage to the melanocytes that bring about healthy melanin production. Okay, so one way to damage your melanin is by putting all these chemicals and stuff in your skin. All right. Melanated people, stay away from sunscreen. Melanin is a gift from Yahuwah for this very reason. And to everybody that's melanated and has melanin in your skin, can I get an all esteem to the highest? All esteem to the Most High Yahuwah, man. All praises to the highest Yahuwah. All praises. So we're going to look here real quick at some videos about this sunscreen. And you're going to see why a lot of these white people, in their effort to survive, they're only damaging themselves. Take a look at this.
Australia's sunscreen scandal is growing tonight, with more brands pulled from the shelves over SPF concerns. Here's our health reporter, Gabriella Rogers.
In June, consumer group Choice uncovered numerous sunscreens with SPF performance significantly below what was advertised. The worst performer, Ultraviolet's Lean Screen, which was pulled from shelves after testing revealed the 50-plus brand showed an SPF of 4. Now investigations by the regulator have intensified. The Therapeutic Goods Administration listing 21 sunscreens, including Lean Screen, sharing the same base formula. Most have been recalled or supply paused while under review. These include 3 versions of Ethical Zinc Daily Wear, Endota Mineral Protect, Emco Beauty 50 Plus, and Naked Sunday's Collagen Glow.
I think anyone expects when they buy something that it should do what it says on the can, or in this case, the bottle. And I think, that's one of the key issues of our original work. And I think there is more that needs to be done.
The TGA says it has significant concerns with UK testing lab Princeton Consumer Research Group, which companies use to verify their SPF claims.
I think what's key is that in Australia, we have the appropriate protocols in place to be able to rely on testing wherever that's done.
The TGA is waiting for a response from the UK lab while considering whether to take further action.
Thank you, Gabby.
Okay, so you can see it's serious business. I mean, all these major brands have been revealed to be dangerous, and now they are recalling them. Let's take a look at one more clip, and I'm going to show y'all some sources on that.
3 more sunscreen products have been removed from shelves weeks after testing by consumer group Choice raised doubts over their SPF levels. It brings the total number of products now recalled by multiple brands to 6. For more, Choice CEO Ashley De Silva is with us, and he's coming live from Sydney. Good morning to you. So yet more brands taken off shelves. Could there be even more to come?
Look, I think there is an open question around whether there could be more to come. I think the fact that there has been 5 brands pull 6 products in just under a week is a signal that there is something that's not working around the way that we're regulating and testing sunscreens. When Ultraviolet pulled their product Lean Screen last week, they acknowledged that that product used a base formula that could be present in others, and I think that's what's driving the actions of these other brands this week. But as I say, there is a question as to whether there could be more products using that same formula or have other issues that are still for sale.
Ashley, why did we not know this beforehand? Because the brands we're looking at are really popular brands. They achieve a lot of sales. How did we not know this before now?
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, and I think the brands themselves are asking the TGA for a bit more advice now. They feel like they've followed the protocols that are required to sell sunscreen in Australia, but the additional tests that Choice did released in June raised the question when we saw 16 of the 20 products we tested not meet their SPF claims. Now, the TGA did say at the time that they would do an investigation, and that's continuing, but I think the urgency around wanting to hear what the scope of that investigation is, what can be done in the meantime, is raising questions from consumers and now even brands who are looking for more advice.
Can we talk about the testing process? Because when these initial results came out, not all of the brands accepted them. Some got more testing done only to have our worst fears confirmed that in fact it was accurate. How are you guys ensuring that these results are accurate?
So look, one of the challenges with testing is that it does require testing on humans, and that there can be variability, and Choice acknowledges that, as does the TGA, and so do the brands. I think though there is more than just the tests that goes into the guidance that could be given to brands around how they make sure their claims are accurate. So The ABC, in fact, has done some good reporting around the labs that get used, what's the quality of those labs, how often should brands retest, and what is considered enough to be confident in the results. So we certainly did all of our testing in an accredited lab that specialises in sunscreen tests. You're right to say that not all of the brands agreed with those results. Ultraviolet, who scored a 4, and then a 5 in a second test, being the most kind of vocal in their opposition to those findings, only to then undertake their own and conclude that the results were too patchy for them to continue feeling confident in the sale of that product.
Finally, Ashley, before I let you go, what's your advice to our viewers watching this morning? They're going to the shop, they want to buy sunscreen they can trust. I notice a lot of the brands and the specific products been taken off shelves have added benefits like anti-aging or moisturising benefits. Should you just be going for a basic SPF? Is that the most effective?
Look, the main thing is that sunscreen's part of a bigger sun protection regime, of course, so don't forget about things like staying in the shade, wearing longer sleeve clothing, wearing hats. But when it comes to sunscreen, the TGA's advice for consumers is to remember that an SPF of 30 or more is still highly effective, and Choice has been saying that since we released our tests. I do know, though, that consumers have got questions around, well, it's saying that it's 50, does that mean it's at least 30? And to your point, are there certain sunscreens we should be avoiding altogether? And I think that that's part of what the public and the community is waiting to hear back from the TGA on, to give them that ultimate confidence. But I'd say in the meantime, don't disregard your sunscreen and keep up with all of those other ways of being sun smart.
Okay, so you guys can see that this is serious. Check this out. Johnson & Johnson recalls sunscreen after finding carcinogenic ingredients. Now, those are cancer-causing things, in case you're not familiar with what carcinogenic ingredients would entail. Let's take a look at this article from verywellhealth.com. All right, and it reads, Johnson & Johnson is recalling 5 aerosol sunscreen products after detecting low levels of benzene, a cancer-causing agent, in some samples. The company urged customers to stop using these products and discard them immediately. Interesting. Oh, the judgment is upon the fallen seed in every single way that you can imagine. The company, the recall sunscreens include Neutrogena. Like, it's crazy because I used to always see these commercials as a kid when y'all used to watch TV back in the day. I used to always see these Neutrogena commercials, these different sunscreens and things like that they was advertising. I remember somebody said, I think Aki Darkhead said that he did like sunscreen like one time. I think I used it one time because I didn't understand we don't need that. I think at one time I was at the beach with a bunch of white people. No. I know where I was at. I think I was with the babysitter or something like that. We went to the beach. It was me and the other children or whatever. And I remember I was maybe 10 years old. I was around the same age, and they had an advertisement at the time of this sunscreen that's blue. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, just, a young kid, so I used to play with like Play-Doh and stuff like that. I was, I love colors and stuff like that, especially having synesthesia. But I ended up deciding to try it. I didn't know, children, black children, Yahudi children don't need sunscreen, but I just put it on my skin just for the heck of it to see how it would look, with the blue sunscreen or whatever. I did it that one time. And then I remember I went home. I remember like the following, like a couple years after that, summer was coming, and I was asking my mom, like, Mom, do I need sunscreen? And she's like, Yekcyr, we don't need sunscreen. And she said that with the biggest smile on her face, bro. All praises, bro. I love my mom, bro. My mom said, Yekcyr, we don't need that. Like, I mean, just the way she said it, bro, it made me feel so good, bro. It made me feel so good. I love the way, I still remember that look on her face when she said that. She had like this big smile. And then I remember my other auntie came in, and she was all like, Black people don't need sunscreen. All phrases. to the highest. And like I said, I come from a family of dark-skinned people, bro. Super dark-skinned people. So, of course, that's why she had that, you know, when people look at my family, bro, they be like, y'all are blessed. Now, if you look at my family, bro, there's been so much intermixing, I don't recognize it anymore. But before all that agenda, you know what I'm saying? It was beautiful, dark-skinned people from the South. You know what I'm saying? All praises to the Most High. Yeah, we got it naturally. Exactly. Yahuwah, he put it in our skin. That melanin, those healthy melanocytes in your skin right now that are producing that beautiful melanin, that is, you know, due to, you know, the purpose of melanin, which is to absorb light. And not only does melanin absorb light, but it also filters out the UV lights that could be harmful to the cells. All right. And it is also a semiconductor, as we talked about in previous episodes. So melanin itself is truly a blessing from the Most High. It truly is. And I give all esteem to Yahuwah for that. You know what I'm saying? All praises. All right. So let's get back to this article, fam. Finish reading about this damage and these cancer-causing chemicals inside of this sunscreen, these sunscreens. So Neutrogena, all right, bleach defense aerosol sunscreen, Neutrogena cool dry sports aerosol sunscreen, Neutrogena invisible daily defense aerosol sunscreen, Neutrogena ultra sheer aerosol sunscreen, and Aveeno. That's another brand I remember seeing commercials for. Aveeno Protect plus Refresh aerosol sunscreen. Distributors and retailers will be notified of the recall, and Johnson & Johnson will arrange for product returns. While benzene is not an ingredient in any of our sunscreen products, it was detected, in some samples of the impact. So, I mean, it's like they're just putting this stuff out, knowing damn well that, you know what I'm saying, it's going to cause a problem. And the thing about Johnson & Johnson, if I'm being honest with you, bro, there's so many lawsuits they get for multiple different products that they push out. That is one brand I would never use for anything, bro. Johnson & Johnson gets lawsuits all day long, bro. All day long, they're getting lawsuits for different products. If there's one product I would tell you to avoid, it is Johnson & Johnson. And by the way, fam, I'm going to end up doing a show eventually on how to take care of your melanin. Matter of fact, real quick, let me show y'all something. Somebody said something about cocoa butter. I used to use cocoa butter, but I don't use that no more. This is what I use. This is what I use for my skin. And you could use it for multiple things. You could use it for your hair. You could use it for your skin. You could use it for brothers out there that got beards. You know what I'm saying? You could get your beard looking all nice and shiny. You know what I'm saying? Even if you get your cut up, you know what I'm saying? You get your line up at the barbershop, you know what I'm saying? Instead of that stuff that they put to lay it down, you know, if you get doing your waves, if you get, you know, you got your do-rag on and you're trying to get your waves dipping, you know what I'm saying? You're trying to get your tidal waves going. You feel what I'm saying? That's also something that's really, really good for your hair as well. But coconut oil, family, coconut oil, that is the perfect thing for people with melanin in your skin. Coconut oil. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it all different places. 100%. Let me go to Walmart real quick, because that's something I know our people are familiar with. So I'm going to just tell you to do that. So let's see. Coconut oil. I get mine from Costco. I like Costco because Costco has like the best organic stuff. Coconut oil, family. And I don't just use it for those things that I mentioned. I also use it for cooking. I don't use palm oil. I don't use none of that. I only use coconut oil, avocado oil. So something like this. Let me show you. This is perfect for your skin. All right. This has multiple uses. Get you some of this, family. This will have your melanin glistening and shining, family. Glisten. Yeah, cooking with it. Yeah, Aki, I cook with the coconut oil. You know what I'm saying? I love coconut oil, man. It smells so good, bro. One thing I do, one little trick that I do when I step outside is I like to put a little bit of, I mean, obviously I put it on my skin, but what I do is I take just a little scoop of it with my finger and I put it under my eyes. So it has like that, it kind of, I don't know. It's like, it just makes your face, I don't know. It makes your features stand out a little bit more. I don't know how else to like put it, but I put a little bit under my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Not so much where it looked like you crying, but it just kind of like makes your face just look so shiny. You know what I'm saying? So this is perfect, bro, for your skin, for cooking, for hair and also melanin maintenance, family. Melanin maintenance. This is good. This is good food for your melanin, and it also feeds your melanin cells. Okay. I think that this is a good way to kind of nurture your melanin. All right. And it's 100% natural. I never stay at home without it. Facts, bro. I got jars up on I got jars up on jars of this, family. I kid you not. I buy it in bulk. That's why I do Costco. I get everything in bulk, right? So I get jars and jars and jars of it. You know what I'm saying? And also another thing about this that I found is useful. It has another use that y'all probably don't know about. This is a little bit of a side note, but since we talking about coconut oil and melanin, procuring your melanin, I just want to show you this also. Another thing about coconut oil that's really amazing is coconut oil can also it's called oil pulling. It's called oil pulling, where a person would be able to literally, like, if you have, some kind of like decay or whatever in your teeth, if you put it in your teeth and you slush it around for about 5 minutes and you spit it out, it's another way to kind of clean your teeth and stuff like that. So that's another thing you can do. So oil pulling. Now, don't swallow it. Don't swallow it. Listen to me. Do not swallow it. No diddy. Okay? It's oil. You slush it around in your mouth and you spit it out. And then you get some water and you brush your teeth naturally. All right? That is a good way to kind of like clean your teeth and stuff like that. But you got to do it regularly. You feel me? You got to do it regularly. So, yeah. All right, y'all. So that's just a little bit of a side note. I just wanted to talk about that because that's I don't use mouthwash. Mouthwash is full of chemicals. I don't use nothing. Like anything that people normally use, I don't use it because I'm just not a fan of it. I just like to be natural about stuff for the most part. But just to show you one more time, coconut oil at Walmart is available. You can get it. It's right here. This is the stuff. You feel me? All praises to the Most High. All right. So get you some of that, man. Get you some of that. Get it in your system. Put it on your skin. Put it in your hair. You can thank me later. It's really powerful stuff and it's amazing. So all praises to the Most High. All right. Now, moving on. Let me jump back over here to my next slide. So we talked about the sunscreen. Now I'm going to show you guys a few more things here about sunscreen. So this is a black man, and he's going to tell you why black people shouldn't use sunscreen. Because, again, you can damage your melanin doing that. Pull this up.
People start putting on sunscreen, yeah? We're thinking, yeah, this is protecting us from the sun and that sort of stuff. So we're not getting skin cancer. Give it 10 years of black people putting on sunscreen. Give it 20 years. The experts are going to come out with some study, some report saying, oh, black people are 10 times more likely to develop skin cancer than white people. And then because we don't study this stuff, we're going to turn around to each other and be like, black people are more likely to get skin cancer. Then we're going to ask the experts, why is that, expert? Why are black? I thought melanin protects us. And the expert's going to turn to you and say, we're not sure why. Could be due to, your melanin. We're not sure. If you don't know the truth, you're easily manipulated. It's like an experiment, us putting on sunscreen. We don't know what it's going to do to us today, but what is it going to do to us in 30 years' time? What is it going to do to us in 40 years' time? We've got to stop just thinking about this person and think about future people as well. That's what our ancestors did.
Okay, so he's saying this can damage your melanin putting this on your skin. So you have to stop doing that. Like I don't think y'all do that anyway, but I'm just saying you should not do that. That is very, very dangerous to do. It is very, very dangerous to do. And, people think that, it's just a extra precaution you can take if you have melanin in your skin, but that's bad advice. That is actually bad advice. So yeah, do not use it. And if you only use it like one time, it's not a big deal. But if you've used it more than once and you've used it over years because you just believe you need to use it, you could definitely be harming yourself. You could definitely be harming your melanin and possibly get a sickness or damage your cells by doing that. So it's not a game. So, you know, if you've done it a few times, whatever, just because you didn't know the truth, is totally fine. It's not a big deal, but stay away from it. That would be the best thing to say, because people don't want to tell you the truth about this kind of stuff. And it's unfortunate, but that's the way it is, you know? And so, you know, I have to tell you because they're not going to tell you because they don't want you to know that. Right. So that's the unfortunate truth, but it's the truth nonetheless. Okay. All right, fam. So let's keep going. We're almost done. I got a few more things I want to show y'all. Please hit the like button if you haven't. Appreciate it. All praises to the Most High. And let me go to this next video here. All right. Let's go to... All right, this next video. Check this one out.
A little frightened to use it. There's a new study out that says after just one day, chemicals in sunscreens enter your bloodstream.
Before you grab that bottle of sunscreen, the first thing you need to do is check the ingredients on the back.
They are chemicals and they can potentially be dangerous.
Look at any bottle of sunscreen on the store shelf and it'll more than likely have one of these ingredients.
Avobenzone and oxybenzone are very commonly in your chemical sunscreen.
But a new study finds when you apply sunscreen with those chemicals, along with two other ones known as escamsol and octocrylene, they can absorb into your skin and into your bloodstream.
So you don't believe in sunscreen?
Never.
Can I tell you something? I have a problem with Australia. I went to Bondi Beach and I got outside. Some guy goes, "Here, take some sunscreen." And I said, "You get that cancer water away from me, okay?" 3 hours later, I was getting rushed to the emergency room because I had sun poisoning. It was probably the worst experience I've ever had. Now I'm kind of like, dude, I would rather put on the sunscreen.
Let me clear it for you. So we've just been in Phuket. I go out to sunbake. I don't have sunscreen. I have my watch. 15 minutes front, 15 minutes back under the umbrella.
Under the umbrella?
No, 15 minutes front, 15 minutes back, then under the umbrella.
Oh, then under umbrella.
Don't take your sunscreen, take your watch. And by the end of the week, I was golden brown. And then I can be out there for half an hour, maybe an hour. I don't want to offend you, but a bit of common sense is necessary.
Yeah, man. So these are white people problems. You feel me? That is something they deal with. And like I said, they are essentially seeing that this stuff is really, really bad for you. And it's affecting them. It's the next video. I'm gonna just show y'all a few more videos.
They're causing carcinogens to their sunscreens? That doesn't make any sense. Or does it?
Let's take a look. Directly from the J&J website, they are doing a voluntary recall of Neutrogena and Aveeno sunscreen products due to the presence of benzene. According to the CDC, it is a chemical that is colorless, odorless, and highly flammable. What is it used to make? Lubricants, rubbers, dyes, detergents, drugs, and pesticides. And according to the American Cancer Society, benzene is known to cause cancer, specifically leukemia and other cancers of blood.
So, Johnny boy, why are you adding it to our sunscreens?
Well, if you look at their revenues, they have $81.6 billion in revenue, and only $14 billion of that is from consumer-facing products like Neutrogena and Aveeno. But the rest of all of this is from their pharmaceuticals and medical devices. And apparently, their growth is primarily led by its pharmaceutical business, specifically their sales of Imbruvica and Darzalex. But what does Imbruvica do? You guessed it. Treats leukemia.
That's weird. That's suspicious.
Treats leukemia. Huh. Treats leukemia. So they definitely got a package deal buying that sunscreen, trying not to die. All right, let me show y'all this one. This one's kind of crazy. Check this out. Bro. She got to have a dang paint roller. Big Back Bessie. Big Back Bessie has to have a paint roller to apply the sunscreen to her back. Oh, yeah, you see that right there? That's Big Back Bessie. That's good old Big Back Bessie. She, you know, there's my ancestry. That's Big Back Bessie right there. Big Back Bessie. I call her Bessie. That's my sister, but that's my wife. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, bro. So that's what we got going on with that. All right, let me show y'all this next thing. Okay, so that's it for that, and let's keep going. Now, let me show y'all this thing about Elon, man. So Elon made a video and he talked about how it's getting too hot. All right, too hot. Check out this video.
Something bad happens here, going to Mars.
That's one of the benefits of Mars is life insurance.
Notice the black and white tile floor. Okay, that's no coincidence. Black and white tile floor.
So eventually, all life on Earth will be destroyed by the sun. The sun is gradually expanding, and so we do at some point need to be a multi-planet civilization because Earth will be incinerated.
I'm hearing this for the first time. No one's ever told me the sun is going to burn
Earth.
Earth.
This is not a disputed fact.
I'm not disagreeing with it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I didn't know this was our destiny, to get roasted by the sun.
Yes, and I don't think there's anyone who would disagree with that.
So we have to set up.
Oh, okay. So you didn't read your little Christian Bible, okay, where it says, okay, he didn't expect it. He didn't expect that this is white people's destiny to be burned by the sun. Oh my, how the Christians do not read the Bible that they claim to believe in. Revelation 16. Let's see what it says, verse 8. And the fourth angel poured out his vial upon Hashemash, the sun, and power was given unto him to scorch men with fire. And men were scorched with great heat and blasphemed the name of Alua, which has power over these plagues. So one of these plagues upon these heathens is going to be the scorching of the sun. And they repented not to give him esteem. So do you see this? So he wasn't expecting that, but it's right there in the Bible that y'all claim to believe in. Isn't that interesting? So again, all you're seeing, this is all just prophecy, family. This is all just prophecy.
Plans to leave and spread out.
I mean, we have several 100 million years, so it's not like you don't hold your breath. It'll be okay. But if Earth has been around for 4.5 billion years, which is what the fossil record suggests, then Earth only has about 10% more life in it before it gets so hot that life is impossible.
And you're going to be the guy to put us closer to where we need to be to get to Mars.
We're headed there, yeah. We have a long way to go.
Wait a minute. Y'all went to the moon, but y'all still haven't been to Mars. Do y'all realize how fake this narrative is of flat Earth, or not Salaki, not flat Earth, the globe Earth, how fake and dumb that ideal is? It's like you got to see, that's why you shouldn't lie, because you got to lie about something, then you got to pile another lie up on top of that, then you got to pile another lie up on top of that, then another lie, then another lie, then another lie, then another lie, and you just get a layer of lies, and you got to have a good memory if you're going to be a liar, because then you got to cover up the next lie that you get caught in. So you've been to the so-called moon, but you haven't yet been to Mars. What's taking so long? These people ain't going to no freaking outer space, bro. This is exactly why they are building bunkers to go underground. If they could leave right now, they would have been done it, bro. They would not be here. Okay? If they could really leave, they would not be here on Earth anymore. They are building billions of dollars worth of bunkers because they're going to go underground back into them caves. I mean, the scriptures say the rocks, they will cry out to the rocks, hide us from he who sits upon the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. The ones that are being burned by the sun. They ain't going to have no other choice but to run back to them caves. They ain't going to be able to handle that sun, that plague. Notice that the plague upon them is the burning of the skin. Oh, yeah, they're jealous of your melanin. This is what they won't tell you, though. This is what transhumanism is really all about, though, family. You just got to have that Afrocentric understanding I always talk about.
Because it's not about just landing on Mars and doing flags and footprints. It's about creating a self-sustaining city on Mars, with the fundamental fork in the road of destiny being that Mars is sufficiently self-sustaining and can grow by itself. If the resupply ships from Earth stop coming for any reason, whether that is because civilization died with a bang or a whimper, but if the resupply ships are necessary for Mars to survive, then we have not created life insurance. We've not created life insurance for life collectively. So that's the key point in the future, where destiny of life as we know it will forever be affected, is when.
Now, why exactly is Elon Musk worried about how hot it's going to get? Well, I can show you exactly why. Have you ever actually looked at him? Like, for real, for real? Now, this is uncooked chicken. And this is Elon Musk. Do you see how pale this boy is? Bro, this dude ain't human. That is uncooked chicken, bro. This is uncooked chicken. Uncooked, unseasoned chicken, family. I can see why he's complaining about it being too dang hot. I mean, when this is really how you look, I totally understand why. I do indeed. Because this is just crazy. Like, how? I mean, just why? Like, I mean, look at this. I mean, that's just like, it just makes you scream. Like, what the heck is going on? It's like a monster. It's like it's not human. I mean, if I was out hunting, you know what I'm saying, and I saw something like this walking, it'd be bang, 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 bang. You feel me? Like, this is like a wild beast. This is like some type of alien type of thing. You know what I'm saying? It would have to be. You know, if I would see it, I would just be bang, bang, right? It's like a walking, uncooked chicken. And then the police was going to come for me. And I got to start running and running. And the cops coming, homie. The cops coming. They coming down the block, bro. But this is exactly why we have transhumanism, because of things like this. Now, it's interesting because Joe Rogan did a podcast about him and how pale he was. And they were saying that he looks like an alien. Remember how I talked about those tall whites? Y'all remember how I talked about the tall whites? All right. They are saying he looks like one of them. And honestly, I think he is. I fully do. It's a lot of look, it's Nephilim everywhere, bro. It is Nephilim literally everywhere, family. They are all over the place. They're in positions you wouldn't think that they are in. All right. It's Nephilim everywhere. All right. Some of the people in politics are Nephilim. You know, a lot of them are. A lot of them are. Let me see if I can pull up that video real quick for you in regards to the whole them saying he looked like, let's see. I guess this one. Check this out.
Eyes like Elon Musk. They look like aliens, bro. Their body is white.
It's because they work all day. If you look at Elon when he was out on that yacht, that motherfucker looks like he hasn't seen the sunlight.
Bro, look at how pink
in years. Like his body has not been exposed to sun.
It's the whiteness.
Bro, look at him. Oh, that's so gay. That is so gay. I mean, this was a Edomite, you know what I'm saying, hot dog party. It was a whole bunch of butt stuff going on that yacht. I mean, bro, come on. A bunch of grown men, no women around. Come on, man. This was a homo ritual, bro. Bro, look at him. Family, this is crazy. Like, Like, when you really look at this dude, family, look at him. This is not a human being. This is not a creation of Yahuwah. They are not a creation of Yahuwah. He is closer to that fallen race than, you know, some of the more pinker ones. But bro, wow. Bro, no wonder he hates black people. Bro, this is insane, family. Wow. Somebody said, hey, why, hold up, Yummy said, why it look like you trying to suck his gut in? Bro, he got a double-breasted suit. Okay, I'm talking about uncooked chicken, double-breasted, bro. Uncooked, unseasoned chicken, double-breasted, family. Double-breasted, unseasoned, uncooked chicken, bro. Bro, this is wild, Marshmallow Man. Half-baked. Oh, man. Whew. Boy, this is wild, y'all.
You see when you see an alien.
That's a wild whiteness.
That's a wild whiteness. You see, they're even recognizing like something is off about this guy. Boy, boy, boy. I tell you, man. All right, fam, we're going to keep this thing going. So we looked at a few things about this this thing, and I'm going to show you one more thing here in regards to this sunscreen issue. So there's another article I'm going to pull up here. All praises to the Most High. The Defender. All right, The Defender. And it says 78 sunscreens, including 5 J&J products, contain cancer-causing ingredients, testing shows. 2 months after an independent lab, Yekcyr released its report. Johnson & Johnson voluntarily recalled 5 of its products that tested positive for benzene, a known carcinogen. So we got another report, all right? And this is like the beach defense. These are other types of these products. Actually, these are the same ones that we mentioned, the SPF, all right? Pharmaceutical testing company Yekcyr discovered 78 sunscreen products containing benzene, the highest levels of which were found in Neutrogena, Sunbum. That's hilarious. Sunbums. They're the sunbums. I mean, I can't even call them sunbums because a bum would be somebody that would live in a certain type of area, but you can't be a sunbum because you can't dwell in the sun. I like sun dodgers better. Yeah. Sunbums. Sunbums. That's just a funny word, y'all. I'm sorry. CVS Health, Fruit of the Earth. I'm sorry. Somebody really called a product Sunbum. You know, no black person had anything to do with the naming of that product. CVS Health and Fruit of the Earth products. 2 months after the report was released, Johnson & Johnson voluntarily recalled 5 of their products that tested positive for benzene, while the FDA considers what action that they may take. Most of the products positive for benzene were aerosol sunscreen products, and one expert warns applying any aerosolized sunscreen product indoors may carry significant risk. Research by the FDA demonstrates your body absorbs at least 6 of the active ingredients the agency tested, including oxybenzone, that enhances the ability of other chemicals to penetrate the skin. And that's another thing about white skin. White skin is easier to penetrate, not just when it comes to light, but also, light. The pale skin does not absorb the light. The light damages it. But also chemicals. All right. Chemicals are more accessible through white skin than they are melanin, because melanin is a protective layer. All right. It is a protective layer. And I showed a video about these white people and how they were talking about when it comes to, you know, mutations and things like that. People with melanin, it rejects things from being brought into the system due to the melanin. I don't have that video ready. I got to look for it. I don't have it right now, so I'll probably revisit in the next episode. But yeah. Okay.
So we can see it is serious business when it comes to this, in regards to this sunscreen stuff that they're dealing with right now. So let's keep going. So we looked at a little bit about that with the sunscreen and everything, and I showed you that it is very, very bad to use sunscreen. It's just not good. It is toxic, and they're suffering because they have to use it. Now, in our next episode, we will dig more into the dangers of skin lightening creams. All right, because our people still deal with self-hate and they use skin lightening creams and all that. But real quick, let me just quickly show you that there is an agenda by the children of Lucifer to get you to damage your melanin willfully or unwillfully. Let me say it again. There is an agenda to get the children of Lucifer to get you to damage your melanin willingly or unwillingly. And this is what we deal with when it comes to self-hate. So let me show you a few videos about that real quick. This is an African woman. Look at this.
Son, this is me. And as well, this is me. So I whitened my skin. That's the secret. And I know you might say these are two different people. Do you know what? That's me and that's me. Yes, I whitened my skin. And if you also want to whiten, guess what? I can give you the same products. Just reach out to me. Reach out to me. Nitakupatia mzigo ile ambayo itakung'arisha paka huko downtown kung'are.
Okay, you see? This is what I call self-hate. All right? Wanting to look like the children of Lucifer. Here's another. And there are products that do this. All right? Here's another one. This one's what I saw this on TikTok Shop.
Kama jua.
Hold on, y'all. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm going to kill the music. But look at this. These are skin lightening creams that can erase your melanin. Look at that. This is real, y'all. Look at this. This is wild, bro. So you can see that cream. You mix it in. Put that in there. Look. This is crazy. My. But yeah, they're advertising this product because they are getting melanated people to hate themselves so that there's a market for this. And like I said, this was being advertised on the TikTok Shop family. So there is definitely an agenda to get our people to embrace this kind of stuff. Now, since we're talking about self-hate, let me show you some more examples of that. This is a perfect example of self-hate. This is a black woman, or what was a black woman. And when you look at her, very beautiful, beautiful red bone is what we would call her. Beautiful black woman. But because of the self-hate, she did this to herself. Let's look at another example. Here's another picture of her. Same woman. Look at that. And this is why I tell you it is so dangerous to want to be in proximity to these people. You get around them enough, you'll start denying your blackness. You'll start denying the struggle of your people. And you'll want to ascend, so you'll get closer and closer to the proximity of whiteness until you completely hate yourself and wanting to look more like them. Now, self-hate isn't just bleaching of skin. It could also lead black women to do things like this. You see? Some of our sisters put themselves through the worst type of treatment by the children of Lucifer, as do our brothers. It's not just our women, it's also our brothers that choose to go after the others, especially the children of Lucifer. But this is what happens when you hate yourself. This is what happens when you have white Jesus shoved down your throat. This is what happens when you are constantly told you're ugly, you're not beautiful, you are not chosen by the Most High. He didn't, we're cursed with black skin. This is what happens. These are the things that happen. Our people have been completely brainwashed to hate themselves. And honestly, I'm probably going to have to edit that part out after I finish this stream, because I don't think YouTube is going to like that, especially some of the language. So I'm probably going to have to, I totally should have edited it. I did not think to do that. I'm so sorry, y'all. So I'm probably going to have to edit it because of that. So I shouldn't have showed that, but I just wanted to show you. So to those of y'all who saw it, you saw it. I'm going to have to take it down and put it back up because I shouldn't have showed that. I should have edited it first and then shown it, because I know YouTube is going to pick up on that immediately. So after we get off of here, I'm going to have to probably take it down, fix that part, and I promise I'll put it back up, okay? I wasn't going to do that, but I just totally forgot to edit it. So my bad, y'all. You feel me? I did not mean to do that. I wanted to keep it up. You feel me? But yeah. But unfortunately, that's what we deal with our sisters that deal with self-hate, and also our brothers who deal with self-hate. All right, now let's keep going. We got more to look at here. All right. So we looked at the whole sunscreen thing. We talked about the skin lightening. All esteem to Yahuwah for those who have melanin in their skin. Yes. Now, as you also know, sunscreen is artificial melanin. All right. And just to prove that, I'm going to show a video that I've shown before just so you can understand. Sunscreen itself is artificial melanin, family. Okay, so you can see that it is artificial melanin. Another reason why you don't need it. Now, we will very quickly look at some materials regarding the damage that people are experiencing due to UV exposure. So this is just a forewarning. I am going to show you some of the damage that happens to the children of Lucifer due to a lack of melanin. All right? 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Oh, man. That's all bad. You see? Look at that. Ooh, that's a bad one. That's a bad, but see, now you see when they have serious damage, the skin starts to peel. They start to shed like snakes. They start to shed like serpents. Makes sense. Serpent seed, right? Oh my. Oh my. Let's look at another one. Wait. That's hilarious, man. Bro, oh my gosh. Wow. Yikes. Ugh. Brother, ooh. Hezekiah's like, why he look like that? I don't know, Og, but dude is just like, I mean, he in pain, bro. Ah! He's in pain, bro. I mean, I know how he feels. I mean, I don't know how he feels because I don't get sunburned, but I know that crap hurts. I remember one time there was this dude in my there was this white kid in my class, right? In middle school. His name was Andres. And he wasn't white. He was one of those like white Hispanics. And he came to class one day and he looked different and I couldn't make out what it was. And I realized how red he was. And one of the Yahudim in the class ended up slapping the crap out of him while he was, red as hell because he had hella sunburn. One of the other Yahudim in the class slapped the hell out that boy. And he was screaming so loud. Like, bro walked up next to him because he had on like a short sleeve shirt, right? And his arm was right next to him when he was walking by his desk, and homeboy went. I had never seen somebody with such severe sunburn like that before. Dude was Edom red, like Esau red, like red, like, you know what I'm saying? Like red, bro. I'm talking about tomato red, bro. Smack the hell out of cuz. You know what I'm saying? And it's like now that we're talking about this and I have the understanding and all that, I'm just like, bro. Looking back on it is so crazy. Now, let me show you some Adamic people because we need to talk about melanated people in regards to all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some Adamic people now that I showed you the people who get the sunburn. Look at this woman here. She's from Senegal. I think I've shown her before, honestly, but I feel like she's a perfect example of what I mean when I talk about the Adamic race. Look at that rich melanin skin, those eyes. You see that mocha, kind of like a darker mocha brown. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful woman. Yes, indeed. Let me show you another one. These are of the Negrito tribes. Negrito. These are of the Negrito tribes in India, and these are indigenous to the land of India. All right. Look at that. That powerful melanin, man. Wow. Look at the baby, woolly type hair. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you another one. Y'all ready for this next one? This is a Dravidian, Adamic. Okay? She's Indian. She's from India, but she is Adamic. All right? Look at that rich, healthy melanin in her. She is of the Adamic race, the people who come from Adam. Look at that. Very beautifully melanated. Yes. And like I said, when I see people with melanin in their skin, I see beauty. Yeah, she's another nation, but that's all right. She's still beautiful. She's still very, very beautiful. Let's look at another one. All right, this next one. Ain't that the dark kid, folks? Nah, that would be you're talking about X Carbon, the Dravidians. Yeah. I know you're talking about, sis. Yeah, Japheth. Very, very beautiful. Yafa, exactly. All praises. All right, now let me show you this next one. Now, this next one is another African woman. And this is the best one. I had to say the best for last. Y'all ready? Give me a 1. This one is going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. Give me a 1. You got to drop a 1 in the chat for this next one. It's worth it. Trust me. Got to drop a 1 in the chat. 1 in the chat. 1 in the chat. Okay. All praises to the Most High. Okay, here we go. All right, let me take her down. Look at this one. Wow. Oh, praise the Most High. Look at that. Melanin, family. Look at that. Wow. Those beautiful brown eyes. Like if you look, she has like the dark, rich, milky chocolate melanin, right? But then she has a nice light brown tone to her eyes. So she doesn't have like, she has dark brown skin, very chocolate, rich mocha or chocolate melanin rich skin, but her eyes have a nice lighter brown texture to them. Wow. Bro, I love all black people, bro. When I look at black people, bro, I see nothing but the image of the highest. Whew. Beautiful, man. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So you compare this beautiful chocolate Adamic woman to this. There is no comparison, family. There is absolutely no comparison, family. None at all. None at all, family. Mm, 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 mm. All praises. All right. We're going to keep going. I just wanted to show you that real quick. So let's keep going. Take this down. All right. So we looked at some materials regarding the damage, and I think I have a few videos here I want to show you guys. Give me a second. Now, again, some of these kind of graphic, bro. Not going to even lie. But this is what they got to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Which is why I'm trying to help you understand we are indeed blessed by the highest. Let me show you some stuff. This is going to kind of mess you up a little bit, but I think it's important you see this. All right. Check this out. Oh, hold on. Didn't load up. Hold on. Let me close out some of these. All right. Let me try it again. It's not loading up for some reason. Hold on, fam. Let me go ahead and delete some of these real quick. Please hit the like button if you haven't. Appreciate y'all. All praises to the highest, Yahuwah. Appreciate y'all for hitting the like. Love y'all. All right, let's try it again. I don't know what happened there. There we go. Look at this. Skin cancer. This is how bad melanoma can get for them. This is how bad. Let me say it again. This is how bad melanoma can get for them. But they're the master race, though. According to them, they're the master race. Really? With this? And you know what's crazy, family? Do y'all remember I showed y'all that video of that white woman that just randomly came up to me and I'm sitting down minding my own business? She comes up to me randomly and just starts sitting there staring at me. And I'm like, why are you here? I'm sitting by myself. There's all these other tables you can sit at. Bro, she had this all over her face. Skin cancer. Yes, please hit the like button, please. She had the skin cancer. Here are some more examples. Look at that. Oh, man. Somebody said, what did she say? I could show you the video. It's short. Hold on. She just came up to me and she just started staring at me like in a very strange way. And I was just like, why are you sitting next to me? Like, why are you over here? And she wasn't saying anything. She just was just sitting there just staring at me the whole time. Just weird. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me get the video. I got it here. I'll show you. This is the video right here. To this table.
No. And you want to sit here with that chick while we're gonna drink or something? She all right?
I don't even know you, and you just came over here and sat down. Why are you doing that? There's all these other empty tables. Look at that. Why are you right here? You want nothing to say? You was just talking to yourself a second ago. And y'all can see that. Yo, me. Yo, me, I am not messing with you, sis. Yo, me said, is that doo-doo on her face? No, I think it was, I mean, it'd be logical when you look at her, but no, I think that was what this is. I think it was this. Bro, Yummy, you are something else, man. But yeah. And again, it's like she literally came over to me after Yahuwah gave me the idea for Operation Liberation, which is why I say the man that I was just helping, one of our brothers, he was out there, he was thirsty, it was hot, he was sweating. I gave him a bottle of water, right? You can see I had empty water bottle because I had a whole bunch of waters, and I was just going around handing them out to people, handing them out to our people out here. And I do that on Shabbat. Like I said, I tell everybody on Shabbat, you know, tomorrow, try to do good deeds, do good unto our people tomorrow. You see our people out there, you know what I'm saying? If you got food, you know, go out there and help our people out, man. All right. We're trying to make it a natural, we're trying to make it a normal thing to do good works on Shabbat. That's what Yahusha taught. So I helped him out and I gave him the water, and he was thirsty and he drank it like real quick. So I gave him another one, and you know what I'm saying, he thanked me, and I watched him and I turned my back and I turned back over. He was gone. I was telling the chat the story and they told me they think he was an angel out of that. Possibly because he was gone quick. He was right there and then he just disappeared. And then immediately, like after he was gone, Yahuwah put it on my heart, Operation Liberation, set the captives free. And it led me to Yahuwah led me to the idea of mass distribution of the truth to our people, which is why I'm still looking into, I'm still fine. And in regards to Operation Liberation, to people who are wondering about it, I have found some things. I'm going to go ahead and get them printed. All right. And I'm going to build a website so that you guys will be able to order them and stuff like that. And I'll have some samples and stuff like that. I'll present them as soon as I'm done with them, but I'm designing some right now. So all praises to the Most High. So it was a demon. This child of Lucifer came to me right after Yahuwah gave me that revelation, which is why I say these demons are on assignment. They are on assignment against us. All right. So you have an angel that I saw that I believe was an angel personally. But then you also had a child of Lucifer that came trying to distract me, taking my mind off of Operation Liberation so I'll forget, because my phone was dead. Or no, my phone wasn't dead because I filmed that right there, but it was dying. It was like at like 14%. And I was going to write it down, and then she came over there. You feel what I'm saying? To distract me. Y'all gotta understand this spiritual. I deal with so much dookie face demon. Oh man. Woo. Yummy, you on fire tonight, sis. You on fire. She said oh man, I can't with you, sis. You just, you know what I'm saying? And it's like when she came over there, I just wanted to leave. Like I gotta go. All right, y'all. All right, let's keep this going, man. Let's keep it going, fam. Let's keep it going. We clowning, we joking, you know what I'm saying? But let's try to get this thing finished up. All right. So those pictures that I showed you, these images, are an example of what this is, which is this skin cancer stuff. And this is why you have this transhumanist agenda to study melanin and melanin so that they can prevent this from happening to them. Now I'm going to show y'all something else here. Let me pull it up. Then I'm going to jump over to the internet and I'm going to show you guys some more information that I have. All right, so let me pull up this next thing. And we need to talk about Africa in a second too, because I want to get to something on that. So let's read this. The beauty of melanin. Melanin is abundantly present at the inception of life. A melanin sheath covers both the sperm and the egg. And that might have to be something we're going to explore at some point as well. This melanin sheath. Melanin responds to and absorbs light and sound in the form of music, right? And electrical energy, and uses this energy in the body as a food, as a nutrient. It converts light energy to sound energy and back again to light energy. Within the human brainstem are 12 centers of black melanin. That's the neuromelanin. The brain center with the deepest pigmentation is the locus coeruleus, or the black dot, also known as substantia nigras. The locus coeruleus supplies the pineal gland with norepinephrine. The pineal gland controls the flow of melatonin. We talked about that, and we'll get a little bit deeper into that at some point in the series. Controls the flow of melatonin during the night hours to activate REM sleep. Okay, so the circadian rhythms, right? Just like how, let me give you a perfect example of circadian rhythms and how your pineal gland works. So, for example, how many of y'all, if you're, let's say you're not working, for those of y'all who have to work a job, right? On a day that you're off, give me a 1 in the chat if the moment you are laying in your bed and the light beams in on you, you no longer want to sleep anymore. Give me a 1 if that's you. Give me a 2 if it's not. 1, if you're on your day off, you're sleeping in bed, it's a new day, and the sun, shines in your face and you no longer want to sleep on your bed anymore. Give me a 1 if that's you. Give me a 2 if it's not. The sun wakes you up. Yes, the light. Yes, the light wakes you up. Okay? That's part of the circadian rhythms. Just like how if I got my lights off in my room right now, as I do, at some point in this dark environment, naturally, I'm going to want to sleep. Okay? In a dark environment, I am naturally going to want to sleep. Nobody that I know sleeps with the lights on. And if you're talking about like a night light, that's different. I'm talking about nobody I know really sleeps with the lights on. I mean, unless you're taking like a nap or something, right? But you don't sleep in a well-lit room. No, you turn the lights off, right? Exactly. So the circadian rhythms of the pineal gland that emits melatonin that comes from the pineal gland, is where you get the concept of circadian rhythms and the way in which we respond to light. whether it's bright light, dark, or darkness, so to speak. Make sense, family? Y'all follow? Yummy said, that's why I got blackout curtains from working at night. Come home in the morning and I can't sleep. You know what? Maybe I need to get some. But I feel like for me, when that light starts shining in on me, I think it's time for my butt to get up. You feel me? Right? Normally when the light comes in, that's just like that's my alarm clock, right? The sun. You feel me? The sun is like my alarm clock. It's like I allow the melatonin that my pineal gland is producing to know it is time to get up. Get up, yak. Get up, yak. It's like, who needs an alarm clock, right? When you've got Yahuwah's luminary. You feel me? You got Yahuwah's luminary. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just something, you know what I'm saying, I thought, would be worth mentioning. But let's keep reading. There's more information here. Foods that help increase melanin. Okay, so pay attention to this, family. These are things that are good to eat in regards to melanin, to help your melanin, to strengthen your melanin, and help produce continue to have healthy melanin production. All right, so nuts, legumes, almonds, peanuts, dried beans, and dark leafy green vegetables, also avocados, bananas, chocolate, and whole grains. Now, if you're going to do chocolate, because I know some of us like sweets. I don't really like sweets like that, bro. But if I do have chocolate and I just kind of want to have a little bit of something, I get dark chocolate. Dark chocolate. Some people don't like dark chocolate. My mom, she loves melanin so much. She like everything dark. She like black licorice. She like all that stuff. I'm like, I don't like black licorice. But dark chocolate is a good thing to do if you want to have something sweet. I think that is a good treat to have. Don't overdo it, of course. I don't really like, I mean, if there's like products you can buy that have dark chocolate in them that are a little bit more better for you. Let's see, like you have like some health bars you can get that have dark chocolate in them and they don't have like all these extra sugars. So if you can find something, or if you want to make your own chocolate, use dark chocolate, no sugar, add some monk fruit to that baby. You know what I'm saying? And you do your own chocolate, right? But if you're going to buy some chocolate, buy the chocolate that you get that has no added sugars to it. And it's mainly use monk fruit sugar. All right. That's the best alternative to sugar. I stress that all the time. Get you some monk fruit for your sweeteners. Okay. Avoid sugar by all means. Avocados, y'all know me. I love avocados. It's one of my favorite things to eat. If you like avocados, that's good for you. I don't eat beans, too many carbs, but if you like beans, that's fine. Almonds, peanuts are good for you. Again, leafy green vegetables. I cannot stress that enough. Have you some stir-fried vegetables, family. Bathe it in butter. Bathe it in butter. Bathe it in butter. And do not buy that I can't believe it's not butter, that fake stuff. No, get you some grass-fed butter. You can get grass-fed butter. You can get it at the store. It costs a little bit more, but I love grass-fed butter, bro. When I'm doing like, if I want to like kind of saute some stuff, I'll give me some ground beef. You know what I'm saying? Give me like some broth, put it inside of a skillet. Give me some fajitas and cut that up a little bit more. Put some vegetables in there. So I got like a bag of like stir-fry vegetables. Put the stir-fry, let it sit in the butter for a little bit. Put a little bit of maybe beef broth in there with the ground beef and just kind of season it up. Have my whole kitchen smelling like Alabama. Have my whole kitchen smelling like Alabama. Dark Kid says, sorry, I can't eat dark chocolate. Yeah, I mean, I get it. Some people can. I have it from time to time, but I don't eat sweets like that. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Get you some butter, get you some stir-fried vegetables, and just, let it sit in that beef broth and stir it up, season it real good, season up that ground beef. Delicious, bro. And then, once you're done with it, get you a plate, get you a little bit of avocado or some guac or something like that, and go to town. Or maybe if you want to be even more healthy, go grab you some celery. And you can do it like kind of like a dip. You know what I'm saying? However you want to do it, because you got that juice, from that butter, but also from that broth and that seasoning. You feel me? Okay, let me stop, bro, because I like cooking. Y'all can tell, bro. You know what I'm saying? I do. You feel me? I enjoy doing it. I don't really eat out, bro. I hardly eat out. I don't really do that, bro. I cook. You know what I'm saying? I prepare my own meals because I eat a certain type of way. So certain things I just don't eat. You feel me? But yeah. So healthy fats, butters, grass-fed food, You know, grass-fed, farm-raised, that's the best way to go. You know, how you eat can also affect your melanin production. So, you know, just word to the wise, eat these healthy things. And, you know, if you can, take a screenshot of this. I think this is very, very vital information for you. Now, let's look at some other stuff that I have here for you. Now, we need to talk about Africa, family. Now, take a look at this. Now, I've shown this in the past, okay, about how the most indigenous people are found in the continent, right? I'm going to show you this article that these heathens wrote about the pigment in Africa, okay? Let's look at this real quick. I hate when it asks me to accept all my cookies. Okay, no diddy. All right, so let's look at this real quick, fam. So let me pull this up real quick. All right, so let's look at this information about Africa. And this is from nature.com. All right, and this is a scientific report that we're going to take a look at here. All right, so scientific reports, significance of melanin distribution in the epidermis for the protective effort against UV light. We're going to read this first, and then we're going to look at the article about Africa. Melanin, the most abundant skin chromophore, is produced by melanocytes and is one of the key components responsible for mediating the skin's response to ultraviolet radiation, UVR. Because of its antioxidant radical savaging and broadband UV absorbing properties, melanin reduces the penetration. Okay, remember, it's almost like a protective layer, protective coating Yahoo has put up that our cells produce into the nuclei of the keratinocytes. Despite its long-established photoprotective role, there is evidence that melanin may also induce oxidative DNA damage in keratinocytes after UV exposure and therefore be involved in the development of melanoma. The present work aimed at evaluation the dependence of UV-induced damage on melanin content and distribution using reconstructed human epidermis RHE models. Tanned and light RHE were irradiated with a 233 nm UVC LED source at 60 mjcm and a UV lamp at 3 mjcm. Higher UV-mediated free radicals and DNA damage were detected in tan RHE with a significantly higher melanin content than in light RHE. The melanin distribution in individual models can explain the lack of photoprotection. Fluorescence and lifetime-based analysis and Fontana-Masson staining revealed a non-homogeneous distribution and absence of paranuclear melanin. Look at that. Now we got another type of melanin. Paranuclear melanin in the tan RHE compared in the vivo situation in humans. Extracellularly dispersed epidermal melanin interferes with photoprotection of the keratinocytes. Wow. Now let me go over here and jump over here to this article about Africa. Let's see. Pull that up next. Okay. Right here. Okay, wonderful. So this next piece of information is from the National Library of Medicine. All right. And it says the evolutionary genetics of skin pigmentation in African populations. Okay, this is going to be a good one. Let's look at it. Skin color is a highly heritable human trait, and global variation in skin pigmentation has been shaped by natural selection, migration, and admixture. Ethnically diverse African populations harbor extremely high levels of genetic and phenotypic diversity, and skin pigmentation varies widely across Africa. Recent genome-wide genetic studies of skin pigmentation in African populations have advanced our understanding of pigmentation, biology, and human evolutionary history. For example, Novel roles in skin pigmentation for Loki near MFSD12 and DDB1 have recently been identified in African populations. However, due to an underrepresentation of Africans in human genetic studies, there is still much to learn about the evolutionary genetics of skin pigmentation. Here, we summarize recent progress in skin pigmentation genetics in Africans and discuss the importance of including more ethnically diverse African populations in future genetic studies. Okay? You know why there's so much ethnic diversity with Africans? They go back to Adam, homie. It goes back to Adam. All right, let's skip forward a little bit here. All right, so human skin pigmentation genes. Human skin color is determined by the composition, abundance, and distribution of melanin pigments, which are biopolymers derived from tyrosine. Melanins come in multiple forms: black, brown, eumelanin, and yellow-red pheomelanin. Melanin is synthesized and stored in lysosome, like organelles called melanosomes, which are generated in melanocytes, all right, and transferred to surrounding keratinocytes. Skin melanocytes are differentiated from melanoblasts, which originate from neural crest cells during embryonic development, okay? So there was truth to what that man said. Let me read that again, okay? So even in your embryonic stage, there is melanin production. Oh, there is a creator, family. There is a creator. And to the people who do not have the eumelanin, this recessive trait and these mutated genes are passed down and passed down and passed down and passed down unless they breed with melanin, which is why they have a need to do this. Okay? Let's read this again. Skin melanocytes are differentiated from melanoblasts, which originate from neural crest cells during embryonic development, family. Skin color is regulated by genes underlining the development of melanocytes and melanosome biogenesis. Mice and other model organisms have been used to validate the functions of genes associated with human pigmentation. And like I said, this is why they use white mice, because those white albino mice are more in line with how they test things when it comes to their people. This is why they do not use brown mice, black mice, because they have melanin. They have eumelanin in them. So they use white laboratory mice to test things when it comes to their population. Interesting stuff. In recent review, summarized a cross species of a list of 650 genes with verified pigmentation phenotypes in humans, mice, or zebrafish. The International Mouse Phenotyping Consortium has identified 224 genes associated with pigmentation phenotypes. Among them, SOX10, and by the way, these are things you can go look up. I'll probably do a deeper study looking at these different things as well. SOX10, PAX3, MITF, EDN3, EDNRB, KIT, and KITLG are key genes that regulate the proliferation, migration, and differentiation of melanocyte precursor cells. All right. And we've talked about the genetic mutations of these genes that cause what we call so-called white people today. All right. White people have different mutations of these different genes. We all have these genes, but white people, their features are an example of these mutated genes. Okay. So the OCA2 gene, okay, this right here is a mutation causing the pale skin. It's also a form of albinism. Okay. OCA2 is I can't even pronounce the word, but this A stands for albino. Okay, and OCA 1 through 2, there's 7 categories that the OCA 1 through 7 categories that white people fall under. and it's connected to albinism. So in a sense, they are albinos, but they have a more extreme version of albinism that leads to things such as straight hair, blue eyes, green eyes, so on and so forth, pheomelanin. Okay? Because people who are albino, they do not have actual melanin or pigment at all. White people have a type of melanin, but it is a animal melanin that they have. Okay? Are well-characterized genes involved in the synthesis of melanin. Okay, so remember, all of these are involved with that healthy, beautiful melanin production that white people have mutations of, right? Involved in the synthesis of melanin in melanocytes. Although here we mainly focus on the genetics and biology of skin pigmentation, it is important to note that many skin pigmentation genes, OCA2 and SLC45A2 and the KITLG, also affect hair or eye color. Yes, yes. An important goal of evolutionary genetics is to identify the variants in genes underlying phenotypic evolution and local adaptation. The advent of microarray and high throughput sequencing technologies now enables researchers to perform genome-wide associated studies for complex human traits, which have been successful in identifying multiple genes associated with human skin pigmentation. These methods, coupled with genome-wide scans of natural selection, can provide novel insights into the genetic mechanisms underlying the evolution of skin pigmentation across populations. For example, allele frequency shifts at trait-associated variants between populations are indicators of local adaptation and positive selection. All right. I guess this is a graph, genetic variance, pigmentation. All right. I'm not really sure what this is actually trying to lay out, so I'm not going to pretend that I do. All right. Evolutionary genetics of skin pigmentation. Actually, let's look at what it says about these other races. Natural selection has shaped the frequency of genetic variants in human populations, and many statistical methods have been developed to identify its footprints in the genome. Several reviews have described the methods of detecting selection signatures extensively. So we briefly mentioned the widely used techniques and their principles. These methods are mainly based on changes in the site frequency spectrum. All right. So these are the different genetic differentiations between populations. There are combinations of derivatives and changes in density of singleton mutations. All right, mutations. Many of these methods have been used to detect significant selection signals near pigmentation genes in who? Europeans, East Asians, and African populations. Although many variants found to be successful or associated, Salaki, with pigmentation from GWAS or identified from selection scans have been functionally validated, a large portion of these variants have been currently unknown functions. And this is also talking about like when you see some of the African people who have like green eyes or blue eyes, dark skin with blue eyes, those will also be an example of some of these mutations that they see in African people, because some of them have healthy melanin, but then you can see some of them have like the bright eyes, the bright colored eyes. All right, that would also be another example of these different mutations. So let's look a little bit more at this and we'll keep going. The majority of evolutionary genetic studies on skin pigmentation have been conducted in European and Asian populations. However, some recent studies have examined pigmentation in African populations, providing novel insights into the evolution of skin color. In this section, we summarize these African studies. So the SLC24A5 gene, and I talked about this when it comes to the mutation, and it's talking about Afro-Asiatic people. So let's look at this. So the SLC gene encodes a cation exchanger in melanosomes and was first confirmed to affect skin pigmentation in zebrafish. All right, a derived non-synonymous mutation in the SLC gene associated with what? Light skin color has swept to near fixation in Europeans due to positive selection. So when in regards to Europeans, we can see the reason why of this pale skin is simply because of a mutation. All right. More proof and more evidence supporting what I showed in previous episodes from a separate article. With 2 or more witnesses are all matters established. Recent studies show that this SLC24A5 allele is also associated with light skin in some Africans. Okay. Performed at a GWAS on 157 ethnically diverse Africans that spanned the full spectrum of skin pigment variation in Africa and found the strongest association at SLC4A5. The authors show that the RS1426654 is common in East African populations with levels of Afro-Asiatic ancestry, and that the RS1426654 likely introgressed into these populations from a Eurasian source. Okay, so this is what the intermixing, that these mutations have been introduced. Okay, we talked about, the ites, right? These different Canaanite tribes that obviously were of the fallen seed. So we know that African people definitely, have also would have intermixed with these tribes. You have some of those genes that have been passed down through some of these other surrounding, African nations. Obviously, Africans have been colonized by the children of the Lucifer. So we know why this would have been introduced to African people. Okay. Likely experienced positive selection in East Africa after this admixture event. The authors also find that the RS1426654 is at moderate frequency, 5 to 12% in the Kosana from Botswana, who have substantially lighter skin than equatorial Africans. Now let's look at these people, the Khoisan or the Khoisan. And I've shown y'all the Khoisan before, but they are more lighter skin. Let me show you. The Khoisan people. And this is where, like, they talk about the Eurasia mixture. The Khoisan people. Hold on. Khoisan. Okay, there we go. All right, so these are these African people who are, you know what I'm saying, more melanated, Asiatic looking people. And you can see there's the melanin is a lot more lighter versus what you would think of if you think about somebody from like Sudan or something like that. All right, here's another one right here. Okay. All right, Adamic, nonetheless, 100% Adamic. You feel me? Let me make this extended. Okay, there we go. All right. So these are the Khoisan people where you see a little bit more of like and they have kind of like a more ruddy, reddish kind of appearance. And that's why it talks about Eurasia. Okay, because these people were originally in Eurasia. All right. These are some of the people who you have some people in Africa, but some of them would have left from Africa and went into Eurasia. So these were some of the people that they found in Eurasia. And that's why you get these white ones, because these white ones intermix with these. So what you call Chinese, white Chinese, or pale skinned Chinese, they come from them. The children of Lucifer obviously colonized them too. And after centuries of mixing and colonial colonization, you get the white ones. But you can see they're more of a ruddy complexion. Here's another one. The Khoisan people. And a lot of them are in South Africa. Here's another one right here. Nelson Mandela also would be of the Khoisan people. There's another example. Here's another one right here. And you can see the peppercorn hair. Now, these people I would consider to be of Hamitic stock. These are of the Hamitic stock. All right, you can see they're a little bit more lighter in color. This one, he has a little bit more melanin in his skin, but you can see they're all genetically of a more lighter complexion. She's a little bit more darker. Wow, look at her. She is beautiful. Look at those eyes, man. Look at those eyes. Wow. Beautiful. Look at that. Beautiful woman. There are some beautiful people, man. Like I said, I love all of Yahuwah's creation. And they're mostly hunter-gatherers. So they kind of live apart from the rest of the other tribes and stuff like that. They kind of live on their own accord. You can see, look at that. Look at he's so aged right here. It's an older one right here. Wow, look at that one. It's like my mom's complexion. Like my mom, like she's like of like this, I would say like more ruddy. My mom is definitely ruddy too. My biological mom, she's definitely more of a ruddy complexion with the like you see the melanin and you can see like she has the freckles and stuff like that, but she's definitely of a more ruddy complexion like this. This is how my mom's skin tone kind of looks. My dad was really, really dark, but my mom was like red like this. Here's another one. All right, so that's just a few examples of these Khoisan people, you know what I'm saying, that the article was talking about. But let's keep going because there's more to look at here. This variation with these African people. Find it so interesting, you know what I'm saying? So let's we're gonna continue. I'm not gonna read too much more because we got more to look at, but I just wanted to show y'all that they're studying these African people and they're noticing all these interesting things about the pigmentation, how rich their melanin in, how well preserved it is. Like they're studying Africans for a reason. Like I said, if you go back to this, there's a reason why. There's a reason why, family. Now, if you compare this, let me show you something real quick. I want to blow your mind about something. I'm trying to get people to understand. There's a reason why Yahuwah's hand is upon Africa, and Africa is still being preserved to this day. So you got the most indigenous people in Africa, the people closest to Adam, like the closest to that Adamic stock that have not really intermixed, probably haven't been through slavery as much. Now let's compare that, right? We see where the most indigenous people are, right? Now let's also compare that to these birth rates. Look, Africa, highest fertility rates. I don't care what nobody says. The Most High's hand is on the continent above all these other nations. Look at it. The Most High's hand is on the continent. People may not want to see it, bro, but look at these statistics. Why are people on the continent having the highest birth rates, the most indigenous people, the most resources? His hand is on the African people, and I want them to understand that. So our people who are Israelites that are there, and to the other Hamitic people and other, people that come from Adam that are there, his hand is on them because he has a plan to restore us back there. They're not experiencing low birth rates because Yahuwah created them. We're not experiencing low birth rates because Yahuwah created us. That's what I'm trying to show you. There's a difference between the Adamic race and the children of Lucifer. The children of Lucifer are not being preserved by Yahuwah. That's why I have to show these maps to show you the real truth. All right, fam. Moving on. So we looked at that. We're going to look at some more. And now let me show you another video. Since we're talking about melanin, I'm going to let this white man tell you about the wonders of melanin. Sometimes it works better when they tell you, because when I tell our people you're blessed, they don't like hearing it. They don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe we're made in the image of the highest. So sometimes it's best for a white man to tell you than me. Take a listen.
We're twice the cancer of the southern states. Blacks don't sunbathe. They have 3 times the cancer.
They have to work.
But the blacks in Africa, they're naked on the beach and they're beautiful. And the one thing they don't have is cancer is missing. And then you have the scientists explaining why. They say that the vitamin D breaks down the cancer telomere. It kills the cancer instantly. They also say that the vitamin D allows you to absorb 20 times as much calcium, which floods your body with oxygen. And Otto Warburg said that oxygen will terminate the cancer. So we not only know that the sun prevents cancer, we know that it totally eliminates cancer.
Okay.
The sun just doesn't give them vitamin D, it gives them the hormones they need to survive. When you're in the sun, you produce calcitonin and melatonin and serotonin and inositol triphosphate. You produce 100 chemicals, all of which keep you young, healthy, and sexy. So you want to be in the sun.
You hear that? You see how he got musical with it? You see how he got using. They don't study black people so dang long, bro. They don't learn how to turn it into a dang song. I gotta go that again. He was over here naming all the benefits of Yahuwah's people and all people made in the image of the highest. He done turned it into a whole song. Let's play that again, fam.
Melatonin, melatonin, serotonin, inositol triphosphate. That the sun prevents cancer. We know that it totally eliminates cancer.
Okay.
The sun just doesn't give them vitamin D. It gives them the hormones they need to survive. When you're in the sun, you produce calcitonin, melatonin, serotonin.
Calcitonin, melatonin, serotonin, calcitonin, melatonin, serotonin, calcitonin, melatonin, serotonin. Bro, they just studied us so well, bro. They done turned it into a jingle. They done turned it into a jingle. And I, you know, Yahuwah put it up on me. I gotta make a song about melanin, so I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that as a sample in the song. Calcitonin and melatonin. Yeah. We gonna make it fun. We gonna make it fun, family. All praises to the highest, man.
Which floods your body with oxygen, and Otto Warburg said that oxygen will terminate the cancer. So we not only know that the sun prevents cancer, we know that it totally eliminates cancer.
Okay.
The sun just doesn't give.
The sun doesn't cause cancer, it eliminates cancer. Can I get an all esteem to the highest right now? Can I get an all esteem to the highest right now? To the highest, Yahuwah. All esteem to the highest, man. Praise the Most High. Child of Yahuwah 89 is in the building. What's up, Ak? Welcome back, Aki. All praises. Shabbat shalom to you, fam. All esteem to the highest, man. This series for me, bro, it's such a way for our people to always have a reason to love and esteem the highest for the genius of his creation. Everything that he has made is beautiful, and that includes you. Praise the Most High. He is worthy. Bino, what's up, Ak? All praises. Shabbat shalom. All esteem to the highest. All right, y'all. We're going to go back to this white man, and we're going to keep it moving. But he said that let's start it over. There's a lot of gems he dropped and maybe he didn't get it the first time. Now he's talking to a black woman here. All right. I'll give him his credit. He definitely did his research. We're gonna get to the Dominican Negro. What's up, Aki? Shabbat shalom. We're gonna get to that in a minute. We're gonna get to the blocking of the sun, the sun dimming, Bill Gates. We're gonna get to that in a minute, okay? That's gonna be next.
Northern states have over twice the cancer of the southern states. Blacks don't sunbathe. They have 3 times the cancer.
They have to work.
But the blacks in Africa, they're naked on the beach and they're beautiful. And the one thing they don't have is cancer's missing. And then you have the scientists explaining why. They say that the vitamin D breaks down the cancer telomere. It kills the cancer instantly. They also say that the vitamin D allows you to absorb 20 times as much calcium, which floods your body with oxygen. And Otto Warburg said that oxygen will terminate the cancer. So we not only know that the sun prevents cancer, we know that it totally eliminates cancer.
Okay.
The sun just doesn't give them vitamin D. It gives them the hormones they need to survive. When you're in the sun, you produce calcitonin, melatonin, serotonin, inositol triphosphate. You produce 100 chemicals, all of which keep you young, healthy, and sexy. So you want to be in the sun. If you take a plant out of the sun, it dies. People die for the same reason. God knew what he was doing. He gave us the sun, said put the plants in the sun, but stay with them.
Yes. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High, man. All praises. All right. Now, let me show y'all this next thing here. Now, we need to talk about their fear of how hot it's getting. We're going to look at some more examples of that.
Has to be viewed as one of the most dangerous results of the changing climate. And so what are we going to do about it? I mean, it is happening, and we know it's happening. And while we race to find, big changes and transitions that have to go on, we have to worry about what's happening on the ground with so many millions of people, in particular women.
This is the fear of the children of Lucifer, y'all. One of their many fears, I should say.
Growth in the frequency, duration, and intensity of heat waves. And this is entirely consistent with the science of global warming and IPCC reports. These events will continue to grow in intensity, and the world needs to prepare for more intense heat waves. The recently declared El Nino is only expected to amplify the occurrence and intensity of extreme heat events. So we're in for a bit of a ride, I'm afraid, and they will have quite serious impacts on human health and livelihoods. One of the noticeable phenomena that we've seen is that the growth in simultaneous heat waves around the Northern Hemisphere has increased sixfold since the 1980s. This trend shows no sign of decreasing. It's also worth noting for the current event that July and August are the most critical months for extreme heat waves.
Oh boy, it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter and hotter. Let me show y'all one more and then we'll move on. Their fear of it being too hot.
I'm fully convinced after all these years, even though we may not know exactly what is causing climate change, we suspect it's the sun. We have a lot of evidence to show that it's probably the sun. Very high percentage, you know, like I would say 90% for sure.
So one thing that needs to be understood, fam, is they have different terminologies that they use, that they will be using, I should say, Salaki, to explain these judgments that are coming from the highest. Of course, the children of Lucifer will use technology by any means necessary to save themselves. And this ultimately leads us to the Bill Gates sun dimming agenda. Now, let me just show you a video or two about this to those who may be curious as to what this actually is. Let me just show you a few videos here.
Power wants to redo what God did. So now they're saying that the UK approves experiments to dim the sun. What the fuck? My question to you, what is the sun doing that's so wrong? You get vitamins, nutrient, powers from the sun. Who is the sun hurting here? Okay, so how do they plan on dimming the sun? As a matter of fact, why did they come up with this idea to dim the sun? Before we answer that, y'all have money to pay scientists to find the best way to dim the sun, but y'all don't have money for nothing else? All right, back to business. So they'll be injecting reflective particles like sulfur dioxide and aerosol, and they're releasing this into the atmosphere. And they're also spraying seawater to brighten the clouds. That's called marine cloud brightening. And then they're deploying reflective materials over ice and land surfaces. And they're doing all of this to stop the sun from shining. And this is in the name of global warming. Mind you, in the UK, they have an average of 30 to 60 days where the sun is fully shining. And this is yearly. So you're telling me that the sun is bothering you that much? I keep telling y'all better stop playing with God. Pay attention.
Yeah, so why do they need to get rid of the sun? Because again, there's a people that ain't supposed to be here. And their time is up. And they know it. They know.
Billions out of creating super clunky corporate software. What you didn't realize is that Bill Gates doesn't think of himself that way. Bill Gates doesn't think of himself as some guy who got super rich making bad software. Bill Gates thinks of himself as God in control of the solar system. And that's why Bill Gates is now backing something called sun dimming technology that would reflect sunlight out of the Earth's atmosphere, causing global cooling. Ooh, that's not fraught with risks. You thought gain-of-function research on pathogens was dangerous. Try that. But that doesn't stop Harvard University. Its scientists are testing that technology by spewing calcium carbonate dust into the atmosphere.
Bill Gates is backing the first high-altitude experiment of one radical climate change solution, creating a massive chemical cloud that could cool the Earth. It's called solar geoengineering, and it's highly controversial. It would look something like this. Thousands of planes would fly very high and use nozzles to inject millions of tons of light-reflecting particles into the stratosphere. It would create a thin chemical cloud of those particles around the whole planet, blocking some sunlight from reaching the surface. It would mimic a giant volcanic eruption, which we know cools the Earth.
Now, just to restate, Bill Gates is not God. Bill Gates is some kind of weird, socially awkward rich guy who lives in Seattle. He doesn't own the planet, but he's now changing the planet single-handedly. This is not just over his yard in Seattle. This is over your yard and our oceans and the whole planet.
What's so interesting about this sun dimming agenda is this was one of the episodes of The Simpsons. And you guys know I'm a big Simpsons fan. In the episode, which was a cliffhanger called Who Shot Mr. Burns, he literally attempts to block the sun to stop people from getting free energy and free light. And they are going to be doing this using chemtrails. I'm not even supposed to say that on this platform, but it's okay because I'm going to edit it after I'm done with this stream. But chemtrails is how he's going to do it, by dropping chemicals in the air. And chemtrails have always been a problem because a lot of these things are like, it's particulate matter, it's aluminum, and, you know, they have us breathing that stuff in. And, you know, chemtrails are very, very dangerous and they're deadly. And they try to tell you that it's not chemtrails, it's not chemicals that they're spraying in the air, but that is exactly what it is. Nothing that they do is for our benefit, especially black people. All right, here's another video.
Make decisions for all of us, like Bill Gates, like one of the wackiest ones. He's talking about like blocking the sun, putting particles in the sky to block the sun to cool the earth. Like, hey, fuckhead,
maybe
there's
not.
a whole lot of people on Earth. You don't get to say for all of us. You don't talk for all of us just because you have $100 billion. That's crazy talk.
Right.
That's what people are scared of. What people are scared of is that when you really do have ultimate money and ultimate power, with most people, there's this desire to control people. It's part of the gig. And some of them, when they decide they don't want to go into politics, they start like influencing things behind the scenes. They start donating. They have funds. They have a giant fund, and their fund donates to all these different organizations. And in Bill Gates' case, it prevented them from criticizing him because the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they donate all this money to these media corporations and all these companies. Look at all the money we've given you to help global health and whatever the fuck it is. But what it really does is it buys off people from criticizing
100%.
you. And then you start doing wild shit like telling everybody they should eat plant-based food and fucking buy
whatever
all the
they want you to
farmland.
do.
And you start controlling people. Just like people like to pull strings on people. The George Soroses of the world
scares me
like
so
to
much.
Get DAs elected and then put an even more progressive DA to go in after him and see if you can fuck with things by letting people out of jail and defunding the cops.
How's he doing all that with his hands, bro? Like, what is he on? I mean, I don't know, bro. You came off real sassy with that. Like, I mean, he was looking sassy the way that he was like moving his hands. Like, what are you doing, cuz? White people are so strange. Hold on, wait. I gotta go back again, bro. It's like the way he's talking with his hands is just hilarious.
Eyes off people from criticizing
100%.
you. And then you start doing wild shit like telling everybody they should eat plant-based food and fucking buy
whatever
all the
they want you to do.
farmland. You start controlling people. Just like people like to pull strings on people. The George Soroses of the world
scares me
like
so
to
much.
Get DAs elected and then put an even more progressive DA to go in after him and see if he can fuck with things by letting people out of jail and defunding the cops. And it's like they're playing these weird...
Bro, what the hell was that? What was that thing that he did where he put his hands in the air? Like, what was that, bro? I was trying to like follow the hands to get the story proper, but what the hell was he doing when he was throwing up his hands? Like, was that like a Baphomet pose or something?
You start controlling people. Just like people like to pull
Like, what is
strings
he
on
doing?
people. The George Soroses of the world
scares me
like
so
to
much.
Get DAs elected and then put an even more progressive DA to go in after him and see if you can fuck with things by letting people out of...
Bro, what is that? What is this? What is it? I was looking at the eyes too, bro. I was like, what is it? Vito said crackhead. Bro, he probably hit the meth pipe, bro, before he went live. I mean, Ak, I know Puppet Strings was the first one, but what is this? Oh, boy.
Jail and defunding the cops.
I'm definitely going to save that video for a meme, bro. That one is just too funny. I'm definitely going to hold on to that one for sure. That's one that is definitely memeable. It is definitely memeable. All right, now let's jump back over here to the browser. I want to show you guys some more stuff, and we're going to continue to look a little more at this sun dimming agenda, but I definitely want to talk also a little bit more about melanoma before we get to the sun dimming agenda, because the purpose for the sun dimming agenda is because of things like melanoma. It's because of these type of projections that he wants to do this. So let's look at this, y'all. So this is from the AI matmelanoma.org. Okay, aim at melanoma foundation. Look, aim at melanoma. Yeah. They really trying to fight something. It says World Health Organization predicts 500,000 with melanoma in 2040. Oh, wait. Let me get that to you again. World Health Organization predicts 500,000 with melanoma in 2040. Oh, it's a wrap. It is a wrap for these people. I keep telling you. Without intervention today, the number of people affected by melanoma will skyrocket. The World Health Organization warns that new diagnoses of cutaneous melanoma, so melanoma that starts in the skin, will increase considerably by 2040 if nothing changes. The number of worldwide cases is predicted to increase from 324,000 in 2020 to 510,000 in 2040. Even more concerning is the projection that melanoma deaths will increase by more than half, 68%. Woo! Boy. Within that same time, in 2020, 57,000 deaths were estimated from melanoma. Predictions suggest worldwide deaths will reach 96,000 by 2040. However, this future with skyrocketing numbers of melanoma is not guaranteed. It can be altered. These predictions assume that the rate of melanoma stays the same. In other words, the model assumes the main thing changing is an increase in the population size. More people equals more melanoma. Let me say it again. More people equals more melanoma. Very interesting. In 2040, if the population size increases and the composition of the people uniformly increases in age, sex, and race, melanoma will affect more people than it did in 2020. The composition, listen to this, is important, especially in areas where melanoma impacts fair-skinned populations. Leading regions driving the total number, including those populations residing in North America, is 105,000 individuals, and Europe, 150,000 individuals, particularly Central, Eastern, Northern, and Western Europe. That's where the palest of the pale are. Yes, sir. These mountainous regions. These regions of the world are considered high incidence populations. Oh, hallelujah. Hooah. I got to read that again. Leading regions driving the total number, including those populations, yes, residing in North America, 105,000 individuals, and Europe, 150,000 individuals, particularly Central, Eastern, Northern, and Western Europe. These regions of the world are considered high incidence populations for their genetic risk. Look at that. Listen to that. Genetic risk of melanoma. Yep. Interventions like sun safety campaigns have the potential to alter this future trajectory since the prediction relies on population growth. Any major impact on incidence could damage the future course of melanoma. For example, decreasing the number of melanoma cases more than 3% worldwide transforms a prediction. A 1% decrease in 2020 numbers is not enough. Such a small change, surprisingly, still causes a modest rise in melanoma cases by 2040, but slows the skyrocketing prediction. However, a change of 3% will substantially impact melanoma in 2040. That means if 3 individuals out of 100 would implement skin safety today, avoiding melanoma in the future, numbers would not skyrocket in 2040 and cases would decline. Well. That's very interesting, family. And it looks like there's not going to be anything that's going to stop it. Now, of course, they have their technology. They have what, they got and all that, but that's not going to stop the judgment of the highest. You feel me? Let's look at some more information. Differences in skin cancer rates. This could be an interesting read. Let's take a look at this. And this is from Medical News Today. So it reads, differences in skin cancer rates. White people appear to have a generally higher vulnerability to skin cancer than the other groups. That is probably due to the lack of melanin in lighter skin, making it easier for UV light to cause damage. By contrast, deeper skin tones with more melanin filters at least twice as much UV light. Researchers believe this is why skin cancer rates are lower in people of color. However, a 2020 article also highlights that a lack of diversity in trials and studies and a shortage of people of color in the field of dermatology means that scientists may not accurately understand how common skin cancer is in skin of color. Here are the different rates for specific types of cancer. So non-melanoma skin cancer. Non-melanoma skin cancer includes squamous cell sarcoma and basal cell sarcoma. SCC is the most common skin cancer among African American and Asian Indian people, and the second most among Hispanic, Chinese, and Japanese Americans. Research suggests that overall it comprises 30 to 65% of skin cancers among dark-skinned people and 15 to 25% of skin cancers among white people. BCC is highly prevalent among white people, comprising 65 to 75% of skin cancers among this group. Now, let me say something. Black people can get a form of skin cancer. It is just very, very unlikely. All right. It is highly unlikely. It is more prominent amongst people with pale skin, but Black people can get it. All right. I just want to say that it's not impossible. It can happen. 65-70% of skin cancers among this group. In lighter skin individuals, it may appear pink or pearly. Interesting. It makes up 20 to 30% of skin cancers among people of color, but is more common among Latinx, Chinese, and Japanese people than Black people. BCC is closely correlated with UV exposure and occurs more often in people of color who live in sunny climates. All right. So this is non-melanoma skin cancer. So it's a skin cancer, but it's not melanoma. Okay. And that's why it affects people of color. All right. Now, melanoma, this affects whites. Melanoma is fairly uncommon, accounting for 1% of all skin cancer cases. However, it is a much more deadlier type of skin cancer due to its predilection towards spreading throughout the body. Melanoma rates have risen over the last 2 decades for all races, according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and this increase is highest among white people. Melanoma is about 20 times more common in white people than in Black people. Let me give it to you again. Melanoma is 20 times more common in white people than Black people. The lifetime prevalence of melanoma between races is 1 in 38 white people, 1 in 167 for Hispanic people, and 1 in 1,000 for Black people. So these two groups listed here are at a higher rate for melanoma than people with eumelanin in our skin. 1 in 1,000 for Black people, 1 in 167 for Hispanics, and 1 in 38 for whites. All right. So you can see we are at the very bottom of that list when it comes to this type of melanoma. Why? Because of the melanin in our skin. I wonder if the AAs they're talking about are really biracial. I wouldn't think so, because for this particular study, they would have to get people with eumelanin in their skin to be able to compare. But again, the melanoma that we just read about in Black people, that is not the same type as the melanoma white people get. All right, let me go back up because I want to show you what it's saying here. So look, non-melanoma skin cancer. So it's a form of skin cancer, but it's not melanoma. All right. It's like I said, it's it's only about 30 to 65% of skin cancers among dark-skinned people. All right. And about 15 to 25% of skin cancers among white people. So this is not common with white people, but it's common with darker skinned people. But nonetheless, it's only about 30 to 65% of darker skinned people. White people only get 15 to 25% of this. So it's higher in people of darker skin. All right. But melanoma itself, which is not the same as non-melanoma skin cancer, this one here mainly affects white people and Hispanics. So there's a difference. You got this one, non-melanoma skin cancer, and then you have regular melanoma skin cancer. And this is what whites deal with. All right. And the deadliest, by the way. Overall, the average annual odds of dying from melanoma from 2016 to 2020 were as follows: 3.9 per 100,000 for non-Hispanic white males. Dang. 1.7 per 100,000 for non-Hispanic white females. And like I said, when you notice when it comes to skin cancer, it's always higher with white men than it is white women. 0.9 per 100,000 for Hispanic males. 0.5 per 100,000 for Hispanic males. 0.3 per 100,000 for all Black people. 1.2, so we got the lowest, all praises. 0.2 for male American Indian Alaska natives. 0.6 for 100,000 for female American Indian Alaska natives. 0.4 per 100,000 for Asian Pacific Islander males. Okay. And then 0.3 for Asian Pacific Islander females. So the only group that has the same level of it not affecting them as much is Asian Pacific Islander females. They're at the same as us. But every other group of men and other groups are all above us. But Black people, and this is all Black people. So this is all Adamic people that do not suffer from this. All right. So there is a distinction Yahuwah has made between his people and people who are not his people. Differences in survival rates. Survival rates are a way of measuring how long a person lives following their initial cancer diagnosis. Factors that can influence survival include cancer stage and location, cancer type, sex, age, and a person's general health status. All right, so let's look at the melanoma. Although it is an uncommon type of skin cancer, melanoma causes 75% of skin cancer deaths. 75% of skin cancer deaths, yes. A 2016 study found that between 1982 to 2011, non-Hispanic Black people with melanoma had the highest mortality risk from this type of cancer. 81 months after receiving a diagnosis. The group with the highest survival rate was non-Hispanic white people, followed by Hispanic people and other ethnicities. More recent, a 2021 study noted a 25% difference in absolute survival between Black and white populations. So Black people, is so rare for us to get melanoma that yes, we can die from it if we do get it. Our survival rate, in the very, very rare instance that we get this, we can actually die. We have a lower survival rate than the people who are prone to getting it, which is whites. But because it's highly unlikely Black people can get this, it's not something that we really have to worry about too much. But if we were to get it, it would be very, very bad. We would not have a good survival rate if that were the case. And it is the most deadly. Now, let's look at this non-melanoma with the survival rate in regards to darker skinned people. Non-melanoma skin cancers. Over time, mortality rates for BCC, SCC have improved, making deaths from these type of skin cancer uncommon. All right? So the non-melanoma skin cancer that darker skinned people deal with is extremely uncommon. And what's even also uncommon is death from it. It's the melanoma that white people get that we have to worry about here, which is unlikely. All right? However, previous studies have shown that this improvement affects Black people less consistently than white people. Mortality rates from SCC are disproportionately high in people of color, with estimates ranging from 18 to 29% in survival rates from this particular non-melanoma skin cancer. So, yeah. Why do these differences exist? The differences in skin cancer symptoms, incidence rates, and survival rates by race are due to several factors, differing symptoms. Having a lighter skin tone can make it easier to see skin cancer liaisons, which may mean a person recognizes it sooner. People with darker skin may not recognize a growth as being potentially cancerous until it's grown larger. Additionally, a lack of representation of dark skin tones in medical textbooks may mean doctors have less knowledge on the appearance of skin cancer in people of color. A 2018 textbook review found that none had images of 6 common skin cancers in skin of color. Another 2020 study also found that students in 2 U.S. medical schools were less accurate in diagnosing SCC and some other common skin conditions in skin of color than in white people. And of course, there's more resources on white people because they suffer from it the most. All right, behavior. Exposure to UV light is a key cause of skin cancer, and this means that spending extended time outside sunbathing and using tanning beds raises the risk of some types of skin cancer. Researchers believe that the rise in popularity of tanning bed use in particular has increased melanoma rates in the past several decades. So them going out into the sun, skin cancer. Them going to tanning booths to get darker, skin cancer. They doing all these sunscreen, skin cancer, all these things they're doing because they hate being white. They are literally damaging themselves. I mean, that's hilarious. In their jealousy, family, and wanting to be like us, they are damaging themselves. People with lighter skin may be more likely to engage in this type of behavior to develop a tan. However, other behaviors may also affect the risk for Hispanic and Black people. For example, a 2019 study shows that the increase in melanoma among Hispanic people in the U.S. may be due to people adopting American culture, which may result in people taking fewer precautions against sun damage or spending more time outside. It is also possible that misconceptions about skin tone and its ability to protect against the sun lead people to assume that there's a very low risk of skin cancer or do not need to wear sunscreen. Well, that's not true. Skin cancer looks different due to a person's skin tone, and it may appear red, black, or brown in people with lighter skin. In those with darker skin, the main feature may be a difference in texture rather than color. People of color are also more likely to develop melanoma in places such as palms, soles, and nails. Okay, so the areas where you have white, all right, so like the palm of my hand is white. The sole of your foot is white. The area under your nails is white. That's where you're likely to get this cancer at. Not so much on your skin as a darker skinned person. It's the areas that are white. I'm laughing because, like, Black people, we got this thing now on TikTok when we're talking about white people. We hold up our hand, talk about these people right here. We hold up our hand. Palm colored people. Okay. This may affect how quickly doctors can diagnose skin cancer. Other factors that affect skin cancer diagnosis and treatment include misconceptions about skin cancer, risk, and skin of color, health inequity. This makes it more difficult for some groups to access health insurance and timely cancer treatment, significantly affecting survival rates. Overall, skin cancers are much more common among white people, but it's important for everyone to perform regular skin checks to avoid missing early signs. So we see, family, that there is an agenda to study melanin, to figure out a way to overcome the fact that judgment is upon the fallen seed. So I'm going to share one more thing with you guys before we go in regards to this Bill Gates thing. And we'll close out from there. All right. So this is from Forbes. Bill Gates ventures aims to spray dust into the atmosphere to block the sun. What could go wrong? Actually, you know what? I read this article before. Let's go to a different one. We're going to go to a different source. So I think I've read this one before. Let's go to the Western Journal. And let's see what they say about this. So this is the Western Journal. And it says, Bill Gates' savior complex spirals out of control, funds sun dimming plan to save the human race. The human race? The children of Adam are doing fine. We don't need no saving from the sun. I mean, the sun benefits us as black people. Oh, you mean to save the children of Lucifer, because this is not applicable to the people with the melanin in their skin. Interesting way to put it. I totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. So let's read this. Bill Gates is best known as a philanthropist, not the guy who started Microsoft or was the avatar for everyone's annoyance with Windows 95. He's also known for wanting to save us from ourselves. Now, apparently, he wants to save us from the sun. Gates, for those of you who don't follow these things, he's been going on a big wham and pandemic prevention. Fair enough, that certainly means his moment has arrived. However, he's about as much of a lockdown guy as you can get, which is just fine if you're a billionaire. Who can afford to hide away as if this were posed, the mask of the Red Death? But the real world consequences for the rest of us can be problematic. However, while you may have been paying attention to his efforts on the whams and lockdowns, you may have noticed that one of Gates' most controversial causes just got to go ahead, a project that could help block out the sun. This sounds like a plot to the Highlander, The Quickening, but it's nothing near that science fiction-y. According to Reuters, a Harvard University project plans to test out a controversial theory that global warming can be stopped by spraying particles into the atmosphere that would reflect the sun's rays. The project represents one of the most controversial aspects of what's known as geoengineering, and we're going to look at that a little bit more in the next episode. The idea that to tackle issues like climate change, massive aspects of our ecosystem can be played with or changed. In this case, it would involve reflecting some of the sun's rays to stop them from reaching the earth. Open air research into spraying tiny sun-reflecting particles into the stratosphere to offset global warming has been stalled for years by controversies, including that it could be discouraged needed cuts in greenhouse gas emissions, Reuters reported. So it's serious business, y'all. It is serious business. It is serious business that they are going to do everything in their power to try to stop their destruction. So let's continue and finish this up, and that'll be it. All right. Now, also, an important thing to understand is that there is a word for every single judgment that's coming. In this case, climate change, global warming. Nonetheless, the truth is, it is judgment upon them. And with that being said, this will conclude our episode today. Thank you for joining. We will be back next week. And that's it.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget you can support this channel by Cash App, $Malkaya Music. Also, be sure to check out the Patreon for uncensored documentaries, films, deep dives, and much more content that you won't find here on YouTube. Check out the merch store for the latest drip. And let me not forget to say, if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that like button and tap in with us. All praises to the Most High, Yahuwah, the highest. Shalom.